The heart of LA, Valley Sports West. The heart of the fan.
Oh, the tree is up. The carolers are out. No, that is not the front of Mark Kubaza's house. That is what we call Christmas in June here at the Big A. As the Halos, they've already won the series. Now they're going for the sweep against the Chicago Cubs, looking to give these Halo fans an early Christmas gift. Here's what's on tap over the next 30 minutes on a very big holiday show. The youth has delivered in the pen. Vintage Mike Trout in the field and at the plate yesterday, and Erica Wesson will chat with Jo Adell, who will make his 2023 debut here tonight. And always have Showtime fans in attendance. Is welcome to the show. Yeah, Ken French, Mark Kubaza, Tim Salmon right in the middle. Welcome, everybody. It's been a lot of fun to talk about. I guess, guys, you could say the comeback kids, 3 straight wins, all via the comeback. Yes, we don't want to make that a habit, but it's certainly been exciting. And I want to start with you, Gooby. Is this a snapshot of what the Angels could be if they play consistent baseball? We've seen 15 runs, shutout in the bullpen, consistent pitching, and great defense.
And I think it goes back to great defense. You limit the amount of extra outs you're given. So now you allow the hitters to come through in those big moments like a Mickey Moniak did yesterday with the bases loaded. You know, some big home runs in the game yesterday, but it's the defense that's going out there and doing their job. The pitchers are more aggressive. They're throwing more strikes. They're getting those quick outs and giving the team a chance, even when they're behind in ball games, to come back.
You know, I think it's the depth as well. I mean, you're seeing this team, all the work that was put in this offseason, bringing in the guys they brought. The depth has just been amazing. To be able to go out there in a night like last night where Renfroe had to be put on the paternity list, and, you know, you're running a few guys out there in some different situations, and you didn't miss a beat. Matter of fact, the outfielders drove the bus last night. I loved it. I mean, that was one of the things we always strove for. The outfielders, we're going to drive the bus tonight. They did everything they needed to do, and I think it just comes down to depth of this team right now. You're seeing it all across the board. Different guys helping them win games every night.
Yeah, it was a sequel to Angels in the Outfield, right?
Yes, yeah. I was trying to jump in before you went there. Mickey Moniak said, you know, the outfield depth has been absolutely crazy. You guys mentioned Taylor Ward was ill, and of course Hunter Renfroe on the paternity list. So only one regular in the outfield, but all 3 starters last night combined for all 6 runs. And it started with Mickey Moniak. And Tim, certainly we know what he can do with the bat, but defensively too, boy, is he one of the better defenders we've seen.
Well, he's a fantastic defender. I mean, doing this, I said it last night, when you go from right field to left field, the ball comes off the bat differently. It spins differently. It's like a Frisbee. It goes the other direction towards, the ball always goes towards the fence, but to be able to have it, you know, not miss a beat and make those catches, that's awesome. But I think the biggest thing is what he's able to do at the plate, not getting consistent at bats, to be able to stay on a split finger right there in that situation with bases loaded and clear the bases. That was a huge hit in the game. And for him, for a guy that hasn't gotten regular at bats, to come in and be clutch in that moment was gigantic.
And he's been getting great jumps in the outfield. That's an outstanding play. That looked like you out there, Tim, coming sliding in there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, the thing is, when you look at his RBIs this season, 6th inning or later, he's got 7 RBIs. He's got 3 RBIs before the 6th inning. So he has been clutch in those big moments where the pitcher out there is really focused on getting you out, yet he's coming through with a clutch hit.
304 in 16 games since being recalled in May. But Tim, you and I talked about it. It's about preparation. It's about the hitting coaches. And he says those 2 guys are really helping him stay sharp when he's not playing.
Well, I'm really been impressed with Phil Plantier and Marcus Thames. These guys are just doing an amazing job preparing these guys day in and day out, and I got to spend some time with them in spring training. They think like old school hitters. I mean, they're thinking about, you know, setting up setting up pitchers, and just the philosophy, the theories behind going up to the plate and having a good at bat. And I think some of the stuff they're doing in the case, they got all the gadgets and gizmos you could want down there, but they got a particular machine that really helps them keep on top of the velo, and it's really paying dividends right now with some of these guys.
All right, a throwback has been Luis Rengifo. So you got Moniak in right, you had Rengifo in left. Only his 8th start in the outfield this season. He had 2 hits, 2 runs scored, 2 RBI. Of course, a stolen base, and after the game, he talked about the excitement of playing left field.
Really good, really good. So every single time when I go there, I have to make my job, and it's really fun.
How much fun was it in the outfield tonight playing defense? I know you and Mike got close to each other, but Mickey too. All three of you had some really nice plays tonight.
It's really fun, you know, talk with Mikey and Mickey, and it's really fun play there, and you know, keep doing that.
His attitude is infectious, Gooby, and he was ready to hit on that first pitch last night.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about his power, that goes a dead center field, 427 feet. Also had a base hit at RBI on the first pitch. That was a breakable fastball to home run. He's always aggressive. First pitch in the zone when he is super, super strong. Rengifo. By the way, I love his smile. It's amazing how he's one of the guys that everyone loves on the team. He's going to play wherever Phil Neville can defensively, because you know he's in there for one reason, because he can crush the baseball, he can run the base as well. But what a swing that was. That's way out the dead center field, and that swing there from Luis Rengifo.
Yeah, again, this is another guy. He's just a huge coming off the bench, just a spot start for you wherever you need him. He'll play in multiple positions, and he's prepped. He's ready to go. And I know he might have had some struggles earlier in the year, but right now, this is the Luis Rengifo we saw last year that really was clutch, I thought, you know, all year long. But, you know, the fact that the way he goes and he swings the bat, like you said, from both sides of the plate, he's got some thump. He's out there, he's prepared. The way he ambushed 2 at-bats, first pitch. I mean, you sit on a first pitch curveball and you hit it in that situation, you've done your homework, he was prepared to play, and you got to love that for a guy coming off the bench.
And I like the way he's running the bases, too. When he had minor league numbers, he was like a 30 stolen base guy. I mean, he's up there with 5 stolen bases now. Just be aggressive, because he's one of the few guys in this lineup that can put a lot of pressure on a catcher, on a pitcher, and a defense by running and stealing some bags.
5 games in June, he's hitting .438, 7 for 16. As you mentioned, had a stolen base last night, 8 for 23, Gooby. You brought that stat up last night on the first pitch, so he is up and ready to attack. Well, he has been hitting well. Mike Trout has been barreling up some balls, Tim Sam, and sometimes they don't fall all the time, but he's getting some to fall. He's been on base 4 of 8 times in this series.
You know, look, everybody's documenting his troubles with the fastball. Just be patient. I mean, he showed some patience at bats the last couple nights. He's been able to wait him out, and he gets the pitch that he wants to hit. And, you know, again, last night he gets the home run on a slider. Well, actually, this is the home run that he takes away. This was a fantastic job getting back to the ball. Again, the ball was carrying a little bit. He drifted into that wall. I don't think he was probably happy about that, but the ball was carrying. The very next inning, he comes up, sits on that slider, and hits it out to right center field. That was a bomb right there, by the way. But again, he's coming around at the plate. He's out there putting in the work. Again, he was out there again today hitting off the machine. But yesterday, the legs, he had to ice those legs out. He covered a lot of ground last night.
Yeah, he was moving. Hey, you're a hockey guy, Frenchie. He almost a Gordy hat trick. He takes away a home run and scores that. All he needed was to drop somebody out there. It would have been perfect.
He almost
Yeah. That was perfect timing, Frenchie.
Help me with the swing path. The swing path, Tim, always stays the same, no matter if he's struggling or if he's going at the plate.
Well, his approach is the same. And again, like I said, you know, every hitter has a hole in his swing. You cannot sit there and try to adjust your swing to every one of your holes. You have to be aware of where your holes are in your swing. But your strengths, you got to stay with your strength. And that's what I'm liking. What I'm seeing right now, he's staying with his strength. He's trying to fight off those tough pitches when he can. But again, wait it out. Eventually, it's going to turn. Pitchers aren't going to be able to hit their spots like they have the last few weeks.
I'll tell you what, by the way, he hit a ball when he was out there early today off that machine, up in the water part of the rock pile up there in dead center field. So I expect Trouty to do something pretty special tonight. He's getting locked in.
Yeah, every time Trouty or the guys hit a home run, they come out and they give a little honor to the bullpen, little mention, as they should, right?
Yes.
Mark was up. My goodness, they've been putting up zeros over this 3-game winning streak. The bullpen was a place of weakness. Now it is a place of strength. That's because the Angels are pitching deeper into ball games. Jaime Barria goes 5, and then the young guys, Gooby, come in and shut the door.
And they're bringing some serious gas on their fastballs, from Soriano to Bachman to Joyce. I mean, you're seeing guys with electric arms. Just 22 years old. Ben Joyce picked up his first W yesterday. Yeah, there was a couple pitches, especially just that one at bat. He was off the plate quite a bit, but he's able to get soft contact even when you're throwing 102, 103. But Sam Bachman last night, his slider was excellent. He went 2 scoreless innings. He had 3 strikeouts, and he retired all 6 batters. He attacked the strike zone. Now it gets to the point where they all have to just trust their stuff. Sometimes when you make it to the major leagues, you're thinking, think, wow, these guys are great hitters. They are, but if you make your pitches, especially with the velocity they have on these pitches, you've got a good chance of getting people out.
I love the fact that you have a lot of arms that are coming out of the pen, not trying to trick guys. They're coming at you. They're a little bit reckless. That makes hitters very uncomfortable, and you're going to have success as long as you throw enough strikes. You don't want to have too many innings where you have 3 walks like that. You can't expect to get out of that one very often, but the velo that you're seeing coming out of the pen, those two guys, Soriano, Webb, your closer, there's a lot of heat coming out of this Angel bullpen. We haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, it's great to see that. By the way, we're getting distracted by all this Christmas stuff around here, too. God.
Every now and then, though, it's okay to hit the bull, though, right?
Yes, every once in a while. Keep them uncomfortable.
It's okay to hit the bull as we take a first time out here as we continue to celebrate Christmas in June. The celebration is in full swing, and Reid Detmers getting ready to take to the hill. Still in search of his first win of 2023.
The next baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network. Think baseball.
There's something that's been missing in the debate.
Think analysis.
Now he goes into his contract year. What do you do with this guy?
Think advanced metrics.
The new rules are having an impact, and I'll bottom line it.
Think MLB Now, the show for the thinking fan. Only on MLB Network. Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at bats.
A walk-off slam!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
Rendón una entrevista, si ganamos 15 o 16 juegos, 17 a final de temporada, creo que podemos estar en pelea.
Like I said before, he gave me the confidence, he gave me the opportunity, and then most important thing is to win games, like Rendon said in an interview. Like if we win 17 games, we're gonna be in a good position to make it to the playoffs.
Jaime Barria might be the best pitcher on the staff right now for the Halos. His third start since moving in when Jose Suarez went down. Tim, 5 innings, 2-run baseball, just 76 pitches. What do you like about the way he approaches the game?
Well, the same thing Nevin said. He said every time he pitches, the pitcher should be taking note. Why? Because he works everything in the strike zone. He fills up that zone with strikes. He hits his spots. He locates well. He throws all his pitches where he wants to throw it. You watch where the glove's at and where the ball ends up going. I mean, this guy is not just throwing a slider to just throw a slider. He's throwing it in his particular spot, and that's what's giving him the success. He's moving the hitter's eyes, keeping him off balance, and that's a huge recipe for success.
Yeah, the off-balance thing is perfect. He throws enough fastballs in to make everyone aware of his fastball. It's not 98 miles an hour, but it's 92 to 95 miles an hour. Hits his spots, but his slider and his changeup have been excellent. And just like that, Tim, you said that he fills that strike zone up, and then when he gets enough strikes, he gets chases below the strike zone, which is important. It's going to be important for Reid Detmers to do the same here tonight.
It's kind of that old school mentality, Tim. You and I were talking about in the post-game show. He just pitches. He doesn't overpower you. He keeps you off balance. He hits his spots, hits his corner, makes adjustments, as Phil said last night, and he has found success so far. So Reid Detmers, that was a terrific transition. Mark Gubazaz, Reid Detmers looks for his first W of the season. He gave up 4 runs on 5 innings against the Stros last time out. 7 consecutive starts, Tim, where Detmers has failed to complete 6.
You know, here's what I'd like to see. He's got tremendous stuff. And what's the issue? You know, to me, when I watch him, he throws his stuff over the zone, but I wonder if he's throwing it almost so hard he loses a little bit of that command, that control, because he doesn't hit his spots all the time, and that's where he seems to get hurt. And so to me, you know, I know he's a tick up in his slider and his fastball velo and all that, and he had 12 strikeouts. It works, but when it doesn't work, you miss a lot over the plate. I'd like to see him maybe take a little bit off and work on command of that ball, especially that fastball inside. You got to make that hitter honest right there. That's an 0-2 pitch. You can't be throwing fastballs up out over the plate.
Yeah, when you have 60 strikeouts and 50 and 2/3 innings pitched, that tells you he's got great stuff. For me, when I look at, Reid Detmers, and you look at his arsenal, and when he's fastball, four-seamer is going to be 41%. Throws a lot of sliders, almost at 39%. Curveball, changeup. I think when you talk about keeping a hitter off balance, like we talked about Maria, that's something I think if he uses his changeup more and he uses his curveball more, it'll make his fastball and slider better. It's tough to get hitters out, Tim, you know this, when everything is hard. It's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. It's a 93-mile-an-hour slider. When you throw a lot of those, when you look at the percentage of that, it's a ton of his pitches right there. So eventually, the first couple times through the lineup, it's very effective. But the third time through, by that point, they've already timed him out on what he's going to throw.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is, he gets ahead in the count. But the struggles have been, what do you do when you're 0-2, 1-2? And that's where I like the waste pitch. And I know it's something that people don't like nowadays, but it comes down to this. Make an effective pitch that changes the eyesight of the hitters. Don't let them continue to zone in a particular place on you. And that's the thing that I remember as a hitter. When I got pitches that are changing my eyes, whether moving my feet inside, outside, up and down, that makes it very difficult for me to be focused on a certain part of the plate where he wants to come back to with those sliders. Well, they're getting hit. You got to move their eyes out of that, maybe a pitch or two before that.
Yeah, third time through, opposition hitting .526 on Reid Detmers. Gooby, so what are your go-tos for him to find success?
Well, I want him to, my big thing today for me, for Reid Detmers, is get some quick outs on the ground. And that means you use all your pitches downstairs. When you get those quick outs on the ground, that allows you to save that nasty strikeout pitch later in the game, that third time through. You mentioned those numbers, but get those quick outs, and then off the corners went ahead. You mentioned 0-2 counts, 1-2 counts. He's allowed the most hits on 0-2 pitches this season. Not that the stuff's not great, but more of the time it's in the strike zone when he's trying to finish also. Off the corners a little bit more, but off balance and getting those quick outs on the ground will be huge for him today.
Quick outs are great also. A quick exit's even better. Once you jump on a sleigh and jingle on out of here.
Oh, the weather is so frightful for you, Frenchie.
It's when you're here. It's getting frigid. He miser. All right, Gooby. See ya.
Good night,
as
everybody.
we take another time out here on the program. When we do come back, Erica Weston joins us as Jo Adell is back and makes his debut tonight.
I'ma do what? That's on me.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
MLB Tonight has all the bases covered, with live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
Every night on MLB Network.
Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off slam!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
Cardinals can complete the 3-game sweep of the Chicago Cubs. 3 come from behind victories. Can they make it a 4th here tonight? As we welcome you back inside the Big A, Ken French, Tim Salmon, joined by Eric Weston. Hello there. How are you?
Hi, guys. Great to be with you.
Great to have you here. This is a big night for Jo Adell. We mentioned he was on his way here yesterday, Hunter Renfroe, on the paternity list. So Joe was recalled from AAA. We saw him in the dugout just before the game. He did not get in, but you had a chance to talk to him. I have to imagine he is so excited.
Yeah, he is really excited. By the way, Hunter Renfroe and his wife Courtney did have a healthy baby girl last night.
Nice.
So good news. Congratulations to them. Everybody is doing well. But yeah, you know, I think Joe has kind of got his blinders on, and we've seen the numbers this year down at AAA and how well he has been doing defensively. He's playing all 3 spots in the outfield as well. So he's really continued the hard work that he put in the offseason as far as his work in the gym, the work on the field, the work that he's done at the plate as well, and really looking forward to this opportunity, regardless of however long that might be. The paternity list is only 3 days. Hunter Renfroe is expected to be back in a couple of days. So Joe is going to maximize his time, and everybody's looking forward to seeing him out there tonight. Here's more from Joe earlier today.
I'm going to go out, you know, hopefully help the team win a game and as many games as, you know, I can, and, you know, just do my part. So.
The numbers say you've been crushing it down at AAA this year. What do you make of the season you've had to this point?
Well, I think the big thing is, you know, our approach as a team this year so far has just been go out and do what you do best. And, you know, for me, you know, it's been my power numbers. You know, I've been able to put the ball in the air more consistently this year to this point. So, you know, I'm hoping to, you know, do that and bring that to the table as a strong suit for me.
What was sort of going through your mind when you were told to come back up here?
I was excited. You know, it's always exciting. You know, you want to go out and this is the highest level of the game and go compete and do the best you can, try to win games and help the team. And that's, you know, that's what goes through your head, you know, when they come to get you is you have that opportunity.
How ready do you feel to just be able to contribute at this level?
Oh, well, you know, I think to this point, you know, I've been here at least, you know, up and down for a little bit. And, you know, I've had my moments. You know, I know what it looks like, and I know what success feels like. So, you know, you go out and you hope to bring as much of that to the table as you can.
How do you kind of handle it mentally being in the minor leagues? I know you'd obviously rather be up here. How'd you kind of handle that this season in terms of being down there?
You know, I think for me, I'm playing the game of me versus me. You know, it's like, you know, I go out and every opportunity I get, you know, I try to compete and see how much better I can be, whether it's practice, you know, weight room stuff, out on the field during the game. You know, I'm not doing not doing anything comparative to anyone else other than myself. And I'm gonna go out and play my game and you know, see what happens.
He's got such great perspective, and I love what he said. It's me versus me. Again, just putting those blinders on, seeing he can get a little bit better each day just against himself. And Salmon, I know, Tim Salmon, Fish, hi. No, sorry to make it official, but this is the first time I've sat next to you on the pregame show in quite some time. But I know GA has talked a lot in the past about, there's Joe, a lot about how much time he needed maybe down in the minors to have it all come together up here, how little time he had. And I don't think Joe is really focusing this year on the fact that he started the year down in AAA, down in the minors. Of course, he'd rather be up here. He's just focusing on getting better.
You know, you're exactly right. And I like what you said. He's keeping the blinders on. And you know, controlling what you can control. So much of this stuff that's going on around him, he can't control. All he can control is what his body can do when he gets on the field, in the box, out in the field, and whatever. And he's really, you know, the journey he's been on, he was rushed up here, he wasn't ready. We're seeing a lot of maturity, and this has really been kind of a blessing in disguise for him, I really believe. Going down there, the team has kind of said, hey, you go down there and you figure it out, you do what you have to do, you just go down there and play. And we're not, and he really hasn't been part of the discussion up here. And that's allowed him, with his attitude, to go down there and just be successful doing what he can do. He's learning the game. I got to give credit to a guy named Keith Johnson. He's a AAA manager. KJ's been a long-time Angel player, coach. He's the AAA manager. KJ's phenomenal. KJ's awesome at helping him get his focus where it needs to be, going out there and taking care of business and not worrying about all the other stuff that's out there. Maybe they could have distracted him. So I've been really, proud to see him go down there and have the success he's had.
It speaks to all the organizational depth in the outfield that they have, too.
Certainly have. Yeah. Erica, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick time out. Last time Joe was here at the big league level, October 5th, 2022. On the other side, we'll find out where Joe is batting in the lineup.
Whether it's the first time they put on a glove, had a catch, or took their first T-ball swing, every hero has an origin story. The 2023 MLB Draft Combine, an exclusive look at the game's next prodigies, phenoms, and all-star sensations, leading up to the 2023 MLB Player Draft. Who's got the stuff to be baseball's next hero? The MLB 2023 Draft Combine. Live coverage from Chase Field, only on MLB Network.
The next generation of baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network.
Fans to redeem a free medium fries with a $1 minimum purchase at participating SoCal McDonald's. Download and register on the McDonald's app. Share it with your friends. Go home with a smile. Here's the lineup Phil and Evan will put out on the field here, hopefully for the series sweep. You find out where Jo Adell is batting behind Gio and Drury. This is a lineup that has produced 8 runs with 2 outs over the last 2 games.
Yes, and this is the lineup that will be facing Drew Smyly, who had a perfect game going through the 8th earlier in the season and had it taken away, but this is a guy that throws a fastball in and a big knuckle curve, so hopefully one of those isn't working for him tonight.
Taylor Ward back in the lineup, and we'll see how he fares after sitting out last night with an illness. But of course, all eyes on Jo Adell making his 2023 debut for the Halos as they look for the series sweep against the Chicago Cubs and their 4th win in a row. It is Christmas in June. Halos looking to give their fans a present, and Jo as well.
You want highlights? Quick Pitch has you covered, packing all the day's biggest plays into one lightning-fast hour.
What a play!
We live today, preview tomorrow on Quick Pitch. Late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network. Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off flare!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
The heart of your team. The heart of LA. Valley Sports West. The heart of the fan.
A lovely night in Southern California. Tonight's game presented by Arco, the official fuel of Valley Sports West. What better way to celebrate Christmas in June for the Angels as they try to sweep the Chicago Cubs. Alongside Mark Gubaza, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and Gooby 2 for 2 in this series. The Angels will try to take out the brooms here tonight.
Even though they've been behind in these games, they still fell on their way back. Their defense has been outstanding. The bullpen work has been great. The starters have given some length in the game, too. So the timely hitting, then the defense and the pitching, all together here in the series so far.
And the Angels in the outfield coming through yesterday. All 6 runs were knocked in by Angel outfielders last night.
Yeah, a lot of power, but also a lot of great defense, Wayne. Mike Trout back to the wall, robs a would-be home run for Trout. He's done that quite a few times in his career, but then he comes right back the very next half inning and hits a home run himself to right center, his 14th home run of the season for Trout in the same game. Robs one, hits one out. It's great to see that one. Then Mickey Moniak was outstanding with the glove early on. Going into the stand, makes a great play. He ends up giving that baseball to the fan afterward, then sliding in there. What a read on that one, coming in, taking away a potential double, maybe even a triple on that, but then coming up again with the bases loaded, a clutch double there, driving in 3 RBIs before the 6th inning. When you look at 7 RBIs, 6th inning or later, so clutch moments for Mickey Moniak. And Jo Adell getting that first start. 18 home runs, 12 doubles, an OPS of 958 for Jo Adell playing right field. Has been playing some great defense down in AAA also.
The Angels will try to get it done. Luis Rengifo, one of the big hits too yesterday, playing in left field. Tonight he's at second base as the Angels go for the sweep, taking on the Chicago Cubs. Game 3 of this series coming up.
Games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game on MLB Network.
The next generation of baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network.
The Big A and the Angels trying to sweep this series as they've won the first 2 games against the Cubs. Reid Detmers looking for his first win tonight as well against Chicago.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring.
ED is difficult for me and for my partner. Through HIMS, I can message a licensed provider about clinically proven ED treatments, like the generic form of Viagra, which can cost 90% less than the brand name version. Then HIMS ships discreetly to my door for free. I never knew it could be this easy to get my confidence back. Now we can both count on a great experience every time. Start your free visit today at forhims.com.
Angel Stadium. Cubs might feel right at home. You know, it still snows in Chicago till about June.
Yeah, sounds about right.
See the Angels take the field here momentarily for the finale of this series. There's all the Christmas decor up.
Yes.
You've got your stockings on, your knit cap.
Had the garland on the batting cage today. That was cool to see.
I saw that, the big wreath out there on the rocks. And now Reid Detmers leads the Angels onto the field tonight for the finale of this series.
So important for Reid Detmers just to gain some confidence, pick up that first W of the season. It all starts with my go-tos for Reid Detmers today. Is get quick outs on the ground. That allows you to save some of those pitches as the game progresses, especially that third time through. And then off the corners, went ahead. 2 strike pitches, get to those corners or just slightly off, and be successful. But it all starts with those quick outs on the ground. You go back to his no-hitter, he had 14 ground ball outs in that game.
Cubs lineup, weighted runs created plus the league average at 100. That's Nico Hoerner's spot, exactly at 100, although he has not struck out in 27 straight plate appearances. Cubs have their home run leader Patrick Wisdom back in the lineup. He's hitting 8th, and there's Seiya Suzuki. Finally got to say hello to Mike Trout before the game today here at Angel Stadium.
And the Angels defense today brought to you by Easton and Easton. Jo Adell back with the Halos out in right field. 9 outfield assists in his career, 5 in right field. Mike Trout next to him. Taylor Ward out in left field. Urshela, Neto, Rengifo playing second base after a nice job out in left field last night. Brandon Joria first. Chad Wallach behind the plate calling the pitches for Reid Detmers. It's good to see Jo Adell back. His defense has been outstanding down in AAA this year.
It's one thing Phil Nevin mentioned before the game today about Jo Adell is that there has been a stark improvement in his defense. Of course, what he's done offensively has stood out as well at Salt Lake City. So we'll see. Jo Adell might not be here too long. He's right now taking the spot of Hunter Renfroe, who's out on the paternity list, but could be a quick opportunity here for him to show that he belongs here.
Especially the numbers he put up. We talked about that in the opening. His OPS, along with 18 home runs, 12 doubles. He hit some majestic home runs in AAA.
Nico Hoerner stands in to start the night here at Angel Stadium. And a strike on the outside corner. Pitcher strike zone to start it off from Vic Carapazza, the home plate umpire, and it's 0-1 on Hoerner.
So far 94-95 with his fastball.
Nothing wrong with the stuff of Reid Detmers this year. His record has not come close to identifying how good his stuff has been this season. He's throwing hard. He's got the hardest average slider thrown by a left-handed pitcher this year. I know you like his curveball too.
Yeah, all those pitches I think work really well for Reid Detmers. This unlucky so far.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Horner.
It's going back to what we talked about a lot. When he gets to that 2-strike count, what is he going to go with to be able to get that first out of here? And throughout the entire game when he gets to 2 strikes.
Horner hasn't struck out since May 31st. 27 straight plate appearances, longest active streak in the majors. Makes some contact softly toward third. Urshela plays a foul ball.
I do like that curveball. So often you're seeing from Reid Detmers, he throws his slider a lot with 2 strikes. A good curveball. He was out in front. Didn't get the strikeout. It was a good quality pitch though.
It is a perfect night for baseball here at Angel Stadium. Game time temperature right around 70 degrees. Nothing but blue skies. Ideal baseball weather here tonight at the Big A. You know what we deserve?
Yes, it is perfect.
Just missed the bottom of the zone. That was a hard, tight slider. It just dipped underneath. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Horner. Swing and a miss. So Nico Horner's long strikeout streak is over. Reid Detmers punches him out.
Nice job by Chad Wallach holding on to that foul tip. A 91-mile-an-hour slider. That swing and miss all set up just a couple pitches before he threw a curveball with 2 strikes. This time he gets a slider swing and miss.
Such a tight pitch. It has not a ton of movement. Almost acts like it could be similar to a changeup. Dansby Swanson at the plate. He hasn't really been throwing his changeup as much this year, Detmers.
No, it's down to just a little under 4%. Well, that's got to jump up there to 8 to 10% at least.
Reid Detmers from Central Illinois. A lot of Cardinal fans down there. Of course, his dad was a member of the Cardinals minor league system at one point. So seeing that Cubby blue must really tick him off.
Have to get back up there quickly now. Went back to the mound.
It's behind Dansby Swanson, 3-0. Pours in a strike at 97. That's the hardest pitch he's thrown.
How about a get over fastball at 97 for Reid Detmers? That's how good his stuff can be.
He's trying to get off this losing streak and get a win. 3-2 now on Swanson. It's been a long road for Detmers this year as far as starts without a victory. He's lost each of his last 2. He's begun the year with the 3rd longest streak in Angels history, 10 consecutive winless starts. Ricky Clark made it to 12 in 1968 and Hector Santiago 11 in 2014. Detmers throws that one to the backstop.
Let's take a look at the pitch arsenal for Reid Detmers. Take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Fastball 4-seamer 41%. 39% slider usage, 16 curveball, and again just under 4% with his changeup. See that high whiff percentage with his curveball and his slider. But when you add them both together, 4-seamer and slider, it's a lot of hard pitches. You're talking about 80% of your pitches are going to be firm. That's where you see the timing for hitters against him. Even though the stuff is outstanding, you throw enough of those hard pitches, they can time it as the game progresses.
Here's Ian Happ batting right-handed against the lefty Detmers. This is his weaker side. Happ has not hit a home run from the right side this year, only batting .216. It's this one on the ground to third. Urshela backhand off balance throw in time at second. Throw to first is in time. A double play. away.
That's an excellent double play turn by both Urshela and Rengifo. Remember, he was out in left field yesterday. Tough little hop, quick throw, and then the turn by Rengifo. 5-4-3.
Attention cancer victims who use the weed killer Roundup. A federal jury unanimously found that Monsanto's popular weed killer Roundup was a substantial factor in causing cancer. You may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you or someone you love used Roundup and were diagnosed with cancer, call the number on your screen now. Don't wait. There may be time deadlines to file a claim.
Call 800-892-7300. That's 800-892-7300.
They said optical shops weren't very inviting. So we, Warby Parker, created ones that were. They said prescription eyewear was too expensive, so we offered more affordable glasses, contacts, and eye exams. They said opticians weren't always friendly. So we hired only the friendliest and the most knowledgeable. And finally, they said the whole experience was just kind of unpleasant. So we set out to change that too. Visit a Warby Parker store and see for yourself.
Tim's little pat on the back before the game begins as the Angels get ready to hit against Cub lefty Drew Smyly, and the Angels lineup brought to you by Cardinelli Way Hyundai. Weighted runs created, plus we see Ohtani and Trout putting up the big numbers again. Brandon Drury having a nice start to his year. Jo Adell in the lineup for the first time this season as he bats sixth and plays right field. Mike Trout hit a home run last night in that 3-hole again tonight with the veteran left-hander Drew Smyly starting for Chicago. First pitch swinging. Taylor Ward hits one out of play.
He's not overpowering his fastball. It's going to be 90-95, maybe 43% fastball usage, but 49% curveball. He throws a lot of curveballs, just like Detmers throws a lot of sliders.
Ward hits this one toward the left field line. That's a base hit as it falls in. Over to cut it off, Ian Happ. Taylor Ward will hit for second as Happ drops it out there in left field. Easy double for Taylor Ward to start the night.
And the key was getting in that sinker upstairs enough to be able to hit it in the air. Nice shot, bringing the hands in. Sinker up. And he hits it hard to left field for a double, seventh double. Continues his trend of hitting the ball well. Missed a game yesterday, not feeling as well, but right back in there today with a double.
Very unlikely Ward would have been stopped by Happ, even if he had picked that up cleanly. The bobble certainly helped, and Ward at second with nobody out. Shohei has been on a roll lately. 16 home runs. Among the American League leaders, he's driven in 42. Ohtani's had an extra base hit in 4 straight games, including a double in the first inning yesterday. And there he is George Bailey.
George Bailey.
Hot dog.
Let's see if an Angels can get his wings here now.
Well, Shohei will put a lasso around all of our moons. He certainly is the unicorn. He'll be on the mound here tomorrow night in the opening game of the series against Seattle. There's that one over into the Cubs dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Shohei.
His knuckle curve has been really, really good this season. Just a 181 batting average, 41 strikeouts. Shohei trying to make some contact, hoping to get that curveball at the higher arc so he can lift it in the air and drive it.
Swing and a miss. Smyly got him with the curve. Ohtani strikes out. One away, and here's Mike Trout. Mike homered last night, his 14th of the year. Been putting in a lot of extra work in the cage over the last few days.
Well, his first couple rounds earlier today, he's hitting everything to right field, back up the middle, then he hit some mammoth home runs, especially to center field off the rock piles.
Looks like a curveball for a strike from Smyly. Trout said the other day that it feels like his front side has been flying open. When he's at his best, he keeps that front side closed. He's the old Mike, as he put it. This one hard on the ground to third. And Wisdom throws out Trout. So after the leadoff double, Taylor Ward stays at second with 2 outs.
And my go-to is to have some success against Smyly, who's thrown the ball well this season. Is hit that sinker in the air. He throws that sinker quite a bit. So you got to try to lift that in the air to do some damage, and don't chase the curveball. Mention those numbers versus his curveball. He gets a lot of swing and miss like he got against Shohei Ohtani.
Here's Brandon Drury after Ward led off this inning, getting in scoring position. Ohtani and Trout unable to get him in. It's Drury batting cleanup with Anthony Rendon not in the lineup.
Brandon Drury 3 for 6 against Smyly in his career.
Ball, no strikes on Brandon Drury.
That's so good. The Wet Bandits are after him on that one.
He's gonna eat a cheese pizza just like you like.
Oh yes. Well, he's trying to deliver that baseball right back at us.
1 ball, 1 strike. You know, the aftershave only burns if you actually shave your face. Drury has enough stubble there and a light beard to overcome any aftershave effects. Two balls and a strike on Drury.
Seen throughout this series, they play pretty deep in the outfield, so a base hit, even a soft hit base hit, or flare in the outfield will score Taylor Ward.
Smyly was a 2nd-round pick out of the University of Arkansas. He was back in 2010. He was roommates with Dallas Keuchel back then. He was a decent prospect early on in his career with the Tigers. He's had a lot of injuries over the years, including Tommy John surgery.
Nice play.
Fan wearing the Cubs Anthony Rizzo jersey.
Well, you have to be good hands over there to make that play. I'd like to see a curveball here.
It's a fastball and it missed, so a 2-out walk, and now Gio Urshela will bat.
The key for the game today, some Van Halen today. Finish what you started. Already some pretty good momentum here. Get first 2 games of the series, but also as a starting pitcher here, finish what you started. When you get ahead of the count, finish off some hitters. That's Reid Detmers today, but also the offense continue this upswing as far as getting some hits with runners in scoring position.
Angels have won 3 straight games. A 4th win in a row would give them a series sweep against the Cubs for the first time ever. Urshela rolls that one foul. Obviously, these 2 teams hadn't played much against each other. That will change now starting this year with interleague play fully around. Everybody plays everybody every season. The Angels had never won a series at home against the Cubs, and now will try to sweep a series against them for the first time. Urshela really chasing there, and it's 0-2. That's a good look for Gio.
Yes. Oh, that was a song, Blue Christmas. It's excellent.
Yep, that's classic.
Yes.
One ball, 2 strikes on Urshela.
Urshela really good with 2 strikes himself, just like Anthony Rendon.
Angels trying to sneak home a first inning run against Drew Smyly. Leadoff double got it started. Smyly got a couple of outs before walking Drury. He's ahead of Urshela. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Urshela hits one pretty well, left center field. On the run, Tauchman all the way back to the wall. Reaches out, makes the catch, absorbs the contact, and ends the inning.
If sports fans built a streaming service.
What's going on?
I think we found a way to stop fans from destroying their TVs when their teams lose.
How's it work?
Hey, Charlie. Philly lost.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put you on hold for just 1 second. Okay.
No!
Yeah, we need a little bit of water splashing around this one.
Bob Ross channel. It's freaking genius.
See a little over here.
Live TV and sports and more, but mostly sports. That's Fubo!
To get your best night's sleep, you need to sleep in something extraordinary. Woven with a silky softness unlike any other. From organic threads that are slow spun and finished in flame. Made from an ingredient so rare, less than 1% of the world's cotton meets our quality. It's the most extraordinary fabric ever made. Only from Boll & Branch.
Handshake and a hug well over a year and a half in the making. That is Mike Trout and Seiya Suzuki officially getting a chance to meet one another. Of course, we know Seiya famously wears the number 27 because of his adoration of Mike Trout. This was 2 spring trainings ago. Seiya in his introductory press conference saying he stayed up all night learning how to say "I love Mike Trout" in English. The two finally getting an official chance to meet today. Seiya can't remember what Mike said, though. He said, "I kind of blacked out," but Mike did apparently tell him he was going to give him an autographed bat to take home. So pretty cool moment for Seiya. They're getting to meet his baseball idol.
It's this ball sharply, but right to Luis Rengifo. Fields on a hop and throws out Suzuki.
Yeah, that was really cool to see that earlier today. This is the excitement level all around both sides and dugouts from the Cubs and the Angels. To be able to see those two meet, yes, that was a lot of fun.
You know, interleague play wasn't around for most of your career, so you didn't get to be around any of the Phillies, but you got around Jim Palmer and some of the guys you idolized.
Yeah, that was a thrill of a lifetime to be able to finally meet some of them. Tom Seaver is another one I finally got a chance to meet at one point. Didn't like to talk to hitters, though. Didn't want to be friends. I was taught that early on. They're trying to take money out of your wallet, so you don't want to be friends with them.
Ron Gomes looks at a strike from Detmers on the curveball. It's okay. Suzuki and Trout, both outfielders, they can be friends.
Yeah.
What about Shohei, though? He can't have any friends, though.
No. Only his teammates. And he definitely is smiling in that dugout a lot.
It is National Best Friends Day, you know.
He's got a lot of best friends.
There's Shohei.
And here's that count we've been talking a lot about now. Set him up with a fastball upstairs. What's he go with here?
Strikes him out. It was a slider that backdoored, and Gomes with a defensive swing is the second strikeout victim for Detmers.
But Wayne, the big thing about that pitcher was 86 miles an hour. So often you're seeing from Reid Detmers is 91, 92, 93 on the slider. So it's just like the fastball. Even though he didn't throw it exactly where he wanted, the change of the speeds in that and the eye level got the swing and miss.
2 up, 2 down here in the second. Brings up Miguel Amaya, who's played in every game in this series. Somewhat oddly, as Amaya lines a base hit to left, Christopher Morel has not played in any of the games in this series. Morel had gotten off to a ridiculously good start, and yes, he's been on the bench throughout this entire series. As the Cubs try to figure out how to get some offense.
Boy, Amaya's been really aggressive on the first pitch in this series.
Here's Trey Mancini, drove in a run with a double yesterday. We talked a lot about Liam Hendriks when we were in Chicago last week and what he went through to beat cancer and get back on the field. Well, Mancini did all that a few years ago. He was coming back from stage 3 colon cancer.
Comeback player of the year when he came back. Where's that pitch at?
Right in the zone.
I mean, that's all over the strike zone.
So now 2 balls, no strikes. And Mancini swings through the fastball.
I still like, you see that separation. That's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. The pitch before was 76. You're talking nearly 20 miles per hour difference.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Mancini. He was with the Orioles when he went through his cancer ordeal. Tumor removed, underwent chemotherapy. He just turned 28 years old when he got the diagnosis. He's been back now for the last few seasons, now with the Cubs. Let's go with that one as it goes to the backstop. Maya will get to second base on a wild pitch.
He's muscled up on the slider. Didn't get much of a chance to get him to go after this one. Even though if he gets that close enough, he's probably going to get a swing and miss on it. 4th wild pitch of the year for Reid Detmers.
Full count on Mancini. He lines a base hit to left. Amaya will score. That ball goes to the wall. Trey Mancini has an RBI double for the 2nd straight day. And the Cubs have the early lead.
2 strikes against Reid there. This after the pitch before he overthrew. A little compensation here made, and this got a lot of the strike zone. And he's able to hook it down the line, hit that one very well. Double, 7th of the season.
Detmers has allowed so many 2-strike hits. His 0-2 hits have stood out for sure. Also, with runners in scoring position, opponents have hit .362 off of Reid Detmers. Here's Wisdom, another man in scoring position, Mancini. Pitch close, but called a ball by Vic Carapazza, the home plate umpire.
I think he's starting to hear a little bit in that dugout.
Well, that curveball to Mancini was an absurdly bad call.
This is the thing when you're struggling, trying to be able to pick up that first W of the season. There's doubt creeps into your mind, but you just got to clear that as quick as possible if you're Reid Detmers here. Trust your offense. Hasn't got a ton of run support so far this year, but trust the way they've been swinging the bat now.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Wisdom, who punches out a lot. His average only 200. He's the Cubs leader with 14 home runs. The Cubs had a lot of home runs from their 8 and 9 spots in their orders, 2nd most in the major leagues. The Angels are actually 3rd in that category. They've hit 17 home runs from their 8 and 9 spots. Two balls, 2 strikes on Wisdom.
ideally, when you get the 2 strikes, you think you're getting a lot of chases. This season, though, it's down quite a bit from last year, even back in 2021. Not getting a chase when he gets the 2 strikes.
Wisdom chased a bit there, but still made contact and stayed alive. See where Detmers, with these inabilities to put hitters away, racks up his pitch count.
He's fortunate enough to get that double play ball last half inning. The 2-out hits after 2 quick outs. I like the fact he went back-to-back curveballs.
Wisdom fouling off another, and the count's still 2-2.
Boy, a fastball down and away and outside corner at the knees would be a perfect pitch right now.
It's on the inside corner, strike 3 called. On top of that, Wallach would have picked off Mancini easily at second. But the inning ends with a strikeout for Detmers.
MLB Tonight, the ultimate late-night baseball party. See the night's biggest moments, the best interviews.
We all love DJ Dan.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best.
This one takes the cake. That is awesome.
MLB Tonight, late nights on MLB Network. MLB Tonight, the ultimate late-night baseball party.
Oh, man.
With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
How hot was that?
That's money.
What?
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, do you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
This one takes the cake. That is awesome.
MLB Tonight, late nights on MLB Network.
Plate appearance at the big league level this year. Adell wore out AAA pitching. Did 18 home runs, and see how he does against Drew Smyly tonight. This is likely a shortstop for Adell, as Hunter Renfroe will be back any day after going on the paternity list. But Jo Adell hits one into orbit down the line. That is a fair ball and a long home run. Welcome back, Jo Adell.
Adell says hello on that one. That baseball is crushed by Jo Adell. 18 home runs in AAA. Well, 1 for 1 in the show this year with a home run. Just like that type ball game. Kabuto time, first time. Jo Adell.
He's been hitting all these home runs at Salt Lake. He couldn't wear the Kabuto. He had to hit one here.
That baseball is absolutely crushed.
451 feet. And that's without the mountain air. My goodness, that was smoked. Now Rengifo grounds a base hit.
And he's got that fastball upstairs. That's above the belt. And yes, you got to look how far that goes. How strong Jo Adell. When he came into spring training, everyone was like, wow, he is strong. Well, you see how strong he is.
That's 117.2 miles per hour exit velocity, going 451.
Chad Wallach lines a base hit down the left field line. Rengifo tiptoes around second, digs for third. Throw goes into second base by Ian Happ, and the Angels have runners on the corners after the long home run by Jo Adell.
Look at that reaction by Griffin Canning. It's beautiful. It's like, oh my.
And these guys watch Trout and Ohtani every day.
Yes.
That was just an absolute smash by Jo Adell. We've heard so much about how Adell has really improved his game in many facets, including all the work he did in the offseason. Zach Neto tries to bunt.
Important he stays in the batter's box, otherwise he'd be out. He looked like he stayed in there.
The Angels do not have a sacrifice bunt as a team this year. They're one of 3 teams without one, along with the Dodgers and the Braves. So it seems like the teams that score a lot of runs don't need to bunt very much. Zach Neto trying his hand there.
It's good to see that offense again. They've done such a great job responding when the opponent scores a run. Well, that was a quick run by Jo Adell. Was flying on Santa's sleigh on this on Christmas in June.
That was just a blast.
That's a great sound to it. Love to hear that sound, especially when you go at baseball going that far. Exit velocity 117.
Probably is, without looking, the hardest hit ball by an Angel this year. Certainly up there if it's not. 117.2. Neto way out in front of that curve, and it is now confirmed the hardest hit ball by an Angel so far this season. Took all of one swing for Jo Adell to make an impact. Talk about an attention grabber. Neto strikes out, chasing another ball in the dirt. And a big first out for Drew Smyly.
Wow, that sound.
Well, on National Best Friends Day, that ball and that bat are no longer friends.
No, not at all.
That was a stone cold breakup. Taylor Ward lifts one toward right center field. Moving over, Suzuki makes the catch. Tagging from third, Rengifo. The throw goes toward first base, and it goes all the way toward the Cub on deck circle, but picked up by Gomes as Rengifo scores the go-ahead run. Sacrifice fly for Ward, and it's 2-1 Angels.
Yeah, Suzuki saw that Chad Wallach was off the base a little bit. He was hoping that at that point to be able to have somebody sneak in behind him and maybe double him off there, but no one there in the bag. Nice job by Taylor Ward. Good situational hitting. Got a double in this game now, a sac fly. Give him 24 RBIs on the season. Just like that, Halo's got the lead.
A couple of runs here in the second against Drew Smyly, and that brings up Shohei. Ohtani struck out his first time. Angels squandered a leadoff double in the first inning, but no squandering here in the second. Leadoff homer, then a couple of base hits, plus another run. Ohtani a line drive base hit. Wallach holds at second base. Fourth hit of the inning against Smyly, and the fifth already tonight.
This is a .229 opponent's batting average against Smyly this season, but this inning, he'll really swing the bat well.
Hanavi heads to the mound. Smyly has largely done a nice job, but he did struggle in his last start against the Reds. 5 runs allowed on 7 hits in 4 2/3 innings. He'd given up 2 runs or fewer in all of his starts outside of games he's pitched against the Reds this year. They're really the only team that's whacked him around. So the Angels score a 3rd run. They'll be just the 2nd team to do so against Smyly this season.
See those numbers he put together in AAA, but it's just you're still waiting for that to come up and be consistent here in the major league level. But saw it a lot in spring training. Some really good swings in spring. In his first at bat of the season, that's a mammoth home run. See that from Jo Adell.
First round pick in 2017. That home run was tied for the 2nd hardest hit ball by an Angel in the last 8 years. Now Mike Trout takes ball 1. Still a chance for the Angels to do more damage here in the bottom of the 2nd against Smyly.
Trout seeing a lot of those high fastballs. Here's your goal against Smyly, is to bring that sinker up to be able to drive his fastball. He's given up 6 home runs versus fastball. Make that 7 now.
High fly off the end of Trout's bat. Topman waits for it to come down, and he's got it to end the inning. The Angels take the lead. The highlight was a long, loud home run off the bat of Jo Adell, his first at bat of the season. 451 feet of wow.
Games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network. Keep up with every team on MLB Network wherever you go. Just download the MLB app, click MLB Network, and sign in with your TV provider info. Then watch MLB Network all day, every day, your way. Think baseball.
There's something that's been missing in the debate.
Think analysis.
Now he goes into his contract year. What do you do with this guy?
Think advanced metrics.
The new rules are having an impact, and I'll bottom line it.
Think MLB Now, the show for the thinking fan, only on MLB Network.
In that last half inning, we did just show you his power numbers. Seems like Joe kind of spoke that home run into existence before the game today. He told me the approach down in Salt Lake this year has just been go out and do what you do best. And he said for him, it's been my power numbers, and I've been able to put the ball in the air more consistently to this point. So I'm hoping to do that and bring that to the table. That's a strong suit for me. Yeah, I'll say. He also kind of talked about the challenge. It's me versus me. That's how he's looking at the battle every single day. I'm not comparing myself to anybody else, playing my own game, go out and see what happens. Nice to see it all pay off tonight. Gooby?
I mean, I love the fact. I love he said he wants to hit the ball in the air. A lot of times he hit the ball on the ground, but elevating, hit the ball in the air with that type of bat speed he has to create that kind of distance is outstanding.
He put on 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Worked out pretty much every day in Tempe and around the Angels spring training facility in Arizona.
Well, you remember when we saw him in spring training, we were like, wow, he is huge.
big, and he is pretty much just all muscle at the moment. Tauchman a line drive right to the first baseman Drury. 1 out. Well, while Jo Adell's trying to get fit, we're going to listen to Jack in the Box tell us about hamburgers.
My ribeye steakhouse burgers are made with 100% ribeye beef. Think of them as the CEO of burgers.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, burgers do everybody good.
Yes.
Nico Horner looks at that curveball strike from Reid Detmers. Important for him to land that pitch.
So quite a few curveballs early in the game here.
Horner fouls that one off.
And because of that curveball first pitch, he's late on the second pitch fastball. And that 0-2 count, trying to get a chase here. The guy that doesn't strike out a lot, although he did strike out his first at bat.
Horner calls time. Matt Birch of the Angels PR department says the Angels are the only team this year to have 3 players homer in their first plate appearances. Adell joins Wallach and Moniak to do that. Of course, Moniak did it on his own birthday. Jo Adell does it on Adam Chotsko's birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Adam.
Slow roller left side. Urshela cuts in front of Neto and retires Horner.
So already 4 outs on the ground today for Reid Detmers. Good to see that. One being a ground ball double play.
So 2 up, 2 down here in the third. Brings up Dansby Swanson. Swanson walked his last time. Former #1 overall pick, just like Mickey Moniak. Swanson was taken the year before Moniak was. Drafted by the Diamondbacks. Dansby Swanson was quickly traded to Atlanta. A deal I'm sure the Diamondbacks would regret, although they've traded so many good young players over the years. Maybe it just all it blurs together at this point.
But now they've accumulated a lot of really good young talent leading their division now.
And they have the best record in the National League. The Arizona Diamondbacks. And there's Swanson, drafted in 15. Moniak the year after. We kind of talked about how that 2016 draft hasn't really panned out, but 2015 draft certainly has. Swanson off the end of his bat. It's a liner to left center. Taylor Ward makes the catch. Reid Detmers his first 1-2-3 inning.
MLB Big Inning brings you the biggest plays of the night, live as they happen. Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel. It's nonstop action on MLB Big Inning, every night on MLB.tv.
Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off flare!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
You go back to 2019 and compare where the hands are set up, where that front leg and how that long that stride was and how short the stride, how short he is through the baseball. And with the elbow pointing out, he's got more coverage and quicker on his swings this season. That's why you're seeing all those inside out shots the other way to right center field, and the power numbers and his launch angle completely different. He talked about before when he went back to 2020, trying to lift the baseball, create a better launch angle, hit more home runs. Well, now he's leveled it off right now and hit line drive and still not losing that power to do the damage. It was a really good shot there to be able to see the difference in Drury from 19 to this season, how quick he is to the baseball now.
That's something he's talked about before with regard to that launch angle, and some guys got a little bit too into it. There's a strike from Drew Smyly. There's that happy medium there somewhere as we see Drury with that 800 OPS. Hitting for a lot of slugs so far this year, although he gets under this one a bit. Tauchman calls off Suzuki to make the catch on Drury.
Yeah, 27 extra base hits for Brandon Drury this season so far. Remember, he got off to a little bit of a slow start in the beginning, but well, he's been crushing the baseball since.
Good year last year, 122 OPS plus last season for Drury. That was the highest of his career. Starting in Cincinnati last season, we had 20 home runs before he got traded to the Padres. As Jo Adell looks at a strike. Drury has said, you know, that was the reason. As Adell inside outs one off the glove of a sliding Mancini, who was more than halfway to second base. If he lets Horner get that ball, Adell is probably out, but instead he's on first with one away.
Played a lot of first base throughout his career, and he's way in the hole there to begin with. More likely, if he goes right back to the bag, he's going to have that play at first base with a 4-3. Said it'll probably end up being an infield hit.
That brings up Jo Adell, who smashed one straight out toward left field for his first major league home run of the year and his first swing of the year. Takes a strike this time from Drew Smyly. Tim Salmon just came in the booth between innings and said that's about as long and loud of a home run as he has seen in a while here. He called it a Bonds home run.
Yeah, he remembers that one in the World Series in '02, Barry Bonds. I don't know if that baseball ever has been landed yet. Went through the tunnel in right center field.
Barry had a great postseason in 2002, fell just short of the title in his only World Series appearance thanks to the Halos. Two balls and a strike on Jo Adell. Adell really a freak of an athlete, a first-round pick in 2017. Pretty much all athletes in his family. His dad played football, was drafted by the New Orleans Saints.
So a lot of backdoor knuckle curves in this at bat. What he saw with a fastball he threw to him.
Adell calls time. When Joe was in high school, he had a 41-inch vertical leap. That's NBA level vertical leap. This guy's always been a great athlete. It's why the Angels drafted him with their first-round pick in 2017. Still just 24 years old. Trying to lay off, and he did not. Strike three. Adell couldn't hold his swing, and he's the third strikeout victim for Drew Smyly tonight. Two down.
And all three have been on his knuckle curve. Strong as he is, unable to stop that swing crossing the plate. It's a nasty curve from Smyly.
There's still strikeouts in his game. He still is striking out a good amount at AAA. You can't overlook what he does when he has made contact, and certainly put on a show already tonight. Luis Rengifo, who's 8 for his last 17 to start the month of June.
He's hit the ball hard himself. Baseball hit the dead center, 427 last night. Show that fastball upstairs, but then he throws that curveball, almost the same plane. Try to get a chase. With percentage of 33.5% on his curveball.
Rengifo pops it up on the infield. Nico Horner makes the play, and that ends the bottom of the third.
MLB Tonight, the ultimate late-night baseball party.
Oh, man.
With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
How hot was that?
That's money.
What?
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, do you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
This one takes the cake. That is awesome.
MLB Tonight, late nights on MLB Network. This is Mookie Betts. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Mookie Betts plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
At the Big A, be one of the first 25,000 fans in attendance tomorrow night against the Mariners. Receive an ugly sweater t-shirt courtesy of Bally Sports West. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details. And it's time to see Santa.
That's Santa with some batting gloves too. Kind of like that.
Ian Happ leads off the fourth and swings through a Reid Detmers fastball. I love the notion that when it's summertime, Santa comes out here to Southern California and hangs at the beach.
Yeah.
Can't just be making toys all the time.
No. He's been using his curveball and slider. Getting a few more swings and misses on his slider because of the usage so far in this game with his curveball.
Also throwing that slider with less velocity at times tonight. 85 on that last one.
I think it's given him a better depth on his slider when he throws it just a little bit slower. When it's 90 to 93, it's almost like it's a cut fastball. It's tougher to get swing and misses on a cutter. So far, 50 pitches, throwing 31 strikes for Reid Detmers. It's a great pitch.
Just missed.
Could easily go either way on that one too. Borderline pitch to be able to call the strike.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Ian Happ. Out in front of another off-speed pitch, curveball, and he fouled it off. Balls, 2 strikes on Happ. Grounded into a double play in the first inning. Nicely turned by the Angels infield. Seiya Suzuki on deck. Happ has really closed up his stance from the right side. He doesn't hit much right-handed. It's in there. Strike 3 call.
Great fastball. I love that spot. Stay there all game long if you're Reid Detmers. That's an unhittable pitch, and it is in the strike zone.
He's just getting the paintbrush out.
Saying this for a while with Reid, it's going to make all his pitches that much better. If he throws that fastball at the knees, even though Happ thought it was a ball, that was definitely in the strike zone.
Seiya Suzuki.
Good about his fastball today too. Reid Detmers pitching inside to right-handed batters. He's been a big fan of that 0-1 fastball in like that.
Pitch there on a curve, and he's ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Suzuki, who grounded to second his first time. Suzuki mired in a slump. And just 1 hit in this series. Cubs are not hitting much right now.
So he went 95-mile-an-hour fastball, a 75-mile-an-hour curveball, then a 91-mile-an-hour slider.
All the stuff is there. I mean, we see it in every start. He showcases his ability and his talent. He just has not put it together. Suzuki with a liner to right center field, and there's another 2-out base hit against Reid Detmers. Adell gets it in. Suzuki has a 1-out double on a 2-strike count.
Fastball was out over the plate, and this lines it that way. It was up high enough there. He was looking out over the plate just to try to make contact with the barrel, and he's able to get it to the wall. 10th double.
That brings up Yan Gomes, who struck out earlier.
He's always been extremely aggressive on the first pitch.
He's got Miguel Amaya behind him. So here's an opportunity for Detmers with a man in scoring position to try to wiggle out of it. And fires one in the dirt. This is another spot where Detmers has struggled. Entering today, opponents 362 with runners in scoring position. And all these types of numbers jump off the page when you look at Reid Detmers and you see the stuff that he has, and then you look at his record, you see he's 0-5. His ERA above 5. And maybe a bit unlucky at times.
Going to get a pitch timer violation on that one. Now 2-0 count.
He's kind of lost track of the clock there as he was looking back at Suzuki, the runner at second. The pitch there as Gomes was out in front.
This is going to be pretty close again because of the quick conversation with Chad Wallach had with the home plate umpire, Vic Carapazza.
Cubs have 3 hits against Reid Detmers, 2 of them doubles. Trey Mancini doubled home Amaya in the second. Angels took the lead with 2 runs at the bottom of the second, including Jo Adell's long home run. Swing and a miss. Gomes chases a ball in the dirt. Wallach has to throw to first to make sure of the out. And Reid Detmers strikes out Gomes for the second time tonight. He's fan 5 overall.
It's good to see you get a chase and a swing and miss on a slider here. Good sharp break to that one. Out of the zone with 2 strikes. Amaya hit a base hit first pitch he saw. If that means you might see that first pitch curveball here from Reid Detmers.
Amaya had an RBI single yesterday. Looks at a curve on the first pitch for a strike. Detmers trying to shake off a 1-out double. Strike 2, throw to second base. Skips off the glove of Rengifo, bounces right to Neto. Detmers taking a deep breath because he was not expecting that throw to second from Wallach, and it flew just over his head.
Every once in a while as a pitcher, you're just zoned in on throwing a pitch, but you don't realize that back pick is coming. 0-2 count here now.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Detmers cures his 0-2 blues. He strikes out Miguel Amaya after punching out Yan Gomes. 3 strikeouts in a scoreless inning for Detmers.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Join ButcherBox today and get 100% grass-fed ground beef free for a year.
Local Southern California Cadillac dealers. By Jack in the Box, try the ribeye steakhouse burgers now at Jack in the Box. And by the OC Healthcare Agency. Build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. Angels trying to sweep this series against the Cubs. They lead 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Chad Wallach swings the first pitch and hits it right to Boog. Did he catch it?
You're right over there, Boog.
Here's John Shambi and Doug Glanville doing Cubs TV broadcasts. There's a bobble by Wisdom, hit him in the finger. And Chad Wallach reaches on what should be an error. Wisdom trying to alligator that ball right into his glove and ended up hitting him on the bare hand as he commits his 6th error of the season. He leads the Cubs in that category.
Yeah, using those 2 hands to be able to get that hop hits his bare hand there and be able to, besides getting in the glove.
Just a good old fashioned clank by Patrick Wisdom. Let's see if the Angels can take advantage. Neto looks at a strike. Earlier today, the Astros lost to the Blue Jays 3-2. Yordan Alvarez left that game with an oblique injury, and it doesn't sound good.
They had an early lead in that game. What, 2-0 in that game, too?
Dusty Baker said after the game, we've just got to regroup and try to figure out how we're going to win some ball games and get through this.
Yeah, those oblique injuries, as we know, Matt Moore, take a little bit of time.
Altuve was just out a few days with an oblique injury, but this sounds worse for Yordan Alvarez. It could be a big blow to the Astros right around the same time that Aaron Judge goes on the IL. Yankees split a doubleheader with the White Sox today. balls, 2 strikes on Zach Neto. Wallach aboard after reaching on an E5.
And he chased the breaker ball, knuckle curve out of the strike zone. He tried to backdoor that one, Smyly did. That time he was able to lay off it.
Neto has not been hitting as much lately.
Good take on that one also.
Count is full on Neto, 3-2. Top of the order next. There's ball 4. So Neto draws a walk. The Angels have the table set for the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. 2 on, nobody out. As we pause for a quick word from Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty.
Here's Taylor Ward, a double and a sacrifice fly, shaking off whatever stomach bug he had yesterday and picking up right where he left off. Ward has an 8-game hitting streak now. Swings at the first pitch and pops it straight up. Infield fly rule for Mancini as Ward makes the first out. Kia player profile on Shohei Ohtani. 12 straight games he has reached base safely. It's one off the team lead right now. Drury's been on base in 13 in a row, including a walk tonight. Shohei with a base hit his last time as the Angels try to add to their lead here in the 4th. Tight from Smyly.
Oh, he was looking. Did I get hit with that one? That's the thing, as a left-handed batter, though, when you throw right-handed, that throwing arm is susceptible to a hit by pitch.
Using that right arm tomorrow. To the strike here from Smyly to even the count. Documented what the Angels have done with runners in scoring position in games where Anthony Rendon hasn't been in the lineup. Not in there tonight. And Shohei chases that curve again. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball is Smyly's best pitch. He throws it a lot. One in the dirt, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Shohei. Smyly throwing his curve more than half the time to lefties this year. Last year only threw that curve 29% of the time to left-handers. So he's really upped that usage on it this season.
Yeah, I mean, between his curveball and his cutter, you pretty much can expect one of those two here on a 2-2 count to Shohei.
Shohei fighting off that fastball to keep the count even.
A pretty good hack at that fastball too. No, he's frustrated. That's his pitch.
He's been so locked in lately. Just pops this one up to shallow left field. Wisdom makes the catch. And a couple of pop-ups here after the Angels had 2 on, nobody out. This is a good opportunity. Wallach reached on an error. Neto walked, but Ward and Ohtani have both popped out. Now it's up to Trout. Trout cranked a home run to right center field yesterday. Angels would be happy to just take a base hit right here.
Going back to that middle of the field approach for Trout, and adjust on the curveball if he does get one on the inside part of the plate. Goes backdoor curveball, line at the center.
Outfield is very deep. For Jamison Tyone last night, a ball that just kept carrying out toward right center field. 6-2 win for the Angels yesterday. There we are. See if this one stays in play. Mancini chasing. Didn't look all that comfortable doing so. Well, you got the youth jersey back on.
Yes, I mean, it was good luck for him yesterday. I talked to him about that. He goes, well, you know what? Hey, you got to go roll with the punches there. And once in a while, even though it might be a little bit tight on you, you got to give it a shot.
Just a little. Only one button popped out into my face, so that's all right.
Yeah.
I feel okay about it. See if Mike can come through while Gooby has the youth jersey on again. Remember, you can pick one up for yourself this Sunday here at Angel Stadium. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Trout. You've modeled it so well. We might have a sellout here on Sunday. People lining up outside the ballpark.
Oh, I'm sure that would be the case.
There'll be a jam on Catella Avenue on the way in here. On 2-2, Trout swings and misses. Drew Smyly works out of a jam in the 4th.
Create amazing work with Fiverr. All you need is your team and a talented freelancer who will lend a hand and seamlessly join your team from just about anywhere. Expand your team with a Fiverr freelancer.
When the details take precedence, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential. And what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Sure, you'll teach her to drive a car. Then use Greenlight and teach her to save up for her own car. Mowing lawns and getting paid. Navigate the world of earning, saving, and investing together. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
Detmers, a very important pitch. That slider, more of the plate. You see the reaction even by Chad Wallach on that one. Then the adjustment made that slider below the strike zone, and at 86, the backdoor slider, and then another good one. 88 miles an hour with 3 strikeouts on his slider so far tonight. Good to see that difference. His slider's been a little bit slower on average as far as velocity, and it's been more effective.
It's had a pitch timer violation before this at bat begins. Second time that's happened to Detmers tonight. So an automatic ball for Trey Mancini leading off here in the top of the 5th. Detmers has 6 strikeouts tonight. Struck out 3 around a double in the 4th. 2-0 on Mancini. Detmers trying to get through 5 with the lead. He has not won a game this year. Mancini jammed, hits it to shallow left. In comes Taylor Ward, makes the catch.
Good enough on that velocity of the fastball inside on a 2-0 pitch. Hitters love an opportunity to get a fastball in that spot, but he ran it in off the plate and jammed him.
1 out. That brings up Wisdom, who struck out looking his first time. Detmers has had a 12 strikeout game this year, matching his career high. That happened against Minnesota May 19th. to 105 pitches in that game, 2 a season high. His next one here will be his 70th. A crazy game between the Mets and the Braves just ended. Ozzie Albies hit a walk-off 3-run homer.
Mets were up big in that game too.
They certainly were. There's a lot of trouble with the New York Mets right now. The Braves won it 13-10 in 10 innings. Two balls and a strike on Wisdom. That's in there, strike 3. Detmers freezes Wisdom with the curve.
Love that use of his curveball today for Reid Detmers. Just drops that in there. 76. Good arc. Been able to throw enough fastballs upstairs to freeze some hitters. He's throwing fastballs upstairs and then drops that in. That's a great view how hard it is to hit that baseball if you're a batter.
7 strikeouts for Reid Detmers. Tauchman lined out to first his first time. Tauchman still in there as Cody Bellinger continues to miss time. 20 games and counting for Bellinger with a knee injury.
He's tied up some hitters tonight so far, Detmers, with his fastball in. It's going to open up the outer half of the plate.
Nab it there with the curveball, but missed. 2 balls and 1 strike on Tauchman. Top of the order next. Detmers trying to ail a lot of what's bothered him this year. 2 strike counts, 0-2 counts. 3rd time through the order. 3 balls and a strike on Tauchman. It will be the 3rd time through. Once Horner bats, he's next.
And that focus all the way through the inning when you get those 2 quick outs. Make some good pitches. Finish off the Cubs lineup here.
Ball 4, so Detmers walks the number 9 batter. Now he will face Nico Horner with 2 out here in the 5th inning. Talked a little bit about some unluckiness. It happens. Some balls fall in, whatever. There's the largest difference here between FIP and ERA, fielding independent pitching. It's basically what the pitcher can control. And that number for Detmers would suggest that his ERA should come down here soon.
Especially with the stuff he takes out there too. So eventually some of those breaks, some of those baseballs have been hit. They're going to be at fielders.
Runner goes. Detmers saw him take off. Wallach's throw to second, a good one. Not in time as Tauchman ends up stealing second. Tauchman got a great jump, and Wallach made that a lot closer than I thought he would.
And they're going to have some base stealers going against Reid Detmers. 8 stolen bases now in 9 attempts.
Wallach pretty quick out of the crouch.
It's a great view. You see how he got his hand in there, and he kept his hand on the base, even though that was a hard tag by Rengifo.
Horner with a fly ball toward the right field line. It's going to get out of play. These are those spots where Detmers has struggled to get an out. Man in scoring position, 3rd time through the order. This is where Reid would really do himself and the team a service by pushing through here, getting this last out and keeping the lead. Soft bouncing ball foul.
It'll be big for his confidence too, to be able to get through this inning, maintain the lead, take that baseball back out in the 6th inning.
Detmers ahead of Nico Horner. He struck him out earlier. Missed with that curveball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 82 pitches now for Detmers. Trying to get through 5 with the lead, hoping to get his first victory of the year tonight. Cubs have the tying run at second with 2 down. 2-2 on Horner. He missed with the slider. Now 3-2. That was one of the harder sliders we've seen tonight. Swanson on deck.
You see that average velocity on his slider down. It was 2 miles per hour.
3-2. Horner. It's a high pop-up on the infield. Zach Neto is under it, moving on the outfield grass, makes the catch. Reid Detmers gets a big out when he needs it. He's through 5 with the lead.
Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at bats.
A walk-off slam!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long. This is Chris Bryant. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Chris Bryant plays hard so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
The big bows.
Nice. Big Christmas tree out in the front, too. Are those slippers made for walking?
Brandon Drury pops up the first pitch. We'll see if Mancini can track this one down. He does. Over the shoulder catch in foul territory for Mancini. You know what's missing? So we see Mancini here.
We'll run that one down over the shoulder play by Mancini.
You know, the best part of Christmas is presents. You didn't get me anything.
Well, it's on its way. I love to blame it on the mail, but I can't do that because my dad was a mailman, so I can't blame it on the mail. It's on its way.
And plus, there shouldn't be any mail issues. It's not really the holiday season.
I can't read my handwriting. That's what happened.
Boy, these excuses probably worked on your teachers in school. 2 balls, 1 strike on Urshela.
Urshela crushed a baseball that Tauchman ran down right in front of the wall in center field. His first at bat, base hit second.
Two and 2 on Urshela. Long fly out in the first. The Angels have stranded 7 men on base tonight. They're 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. So again, in a Rendon-less lineup, we've seen the team struggle to get the big hit tonight. If they had it, they had a couple of them. feel like this game would be well in their direction right now. And as it is, they do have the lead, but it's 2-1. Shella lines it to right. Suzuki makes the catch. It seems like he's been everywhere. The ball has been hit into right field in this series. 2 up, 2 down. We check our stats with Lowe's because Jo Adell hit one 451 feet, the longest homer at Angel Stadium this year.
Doing that in your first at bat of the season.
Yeah, no reason to wait around.
Why would you?
That's back in the second.
It's interesting watching Yan Gomes behind the plate. When he knows he's throwing a curveball, he'll tap that ground to let Wisdom know that there's a potential that ground ball coming his way. You know, a slow off-speed pitch.
I'm sure Smyly's thrown a fastball to Adell since that home run.
Would you?
Even I know that he probably shouldn't. It's been all soft stuff ever since, and Smyly working ahead here. And Adell calls time. Two balls, 2 strikes on Jo Adell. Hit 18 homers at AAA. That was tied for the most in all of minor league baseball. Luken Baker in the Cardinals system also with 18 home runs. Adell had 43 RBIs in 55 games. It's a bouncing ball to third. Patrick Wisdom grabs it, slings it to first. And a 1-2-3 inning, the first tonight for Drew Smyly.
See it. He struck him out. It's out of here.
Feel it.
I can't wait for this game to start. He took a home run away.
Leave it.
That is as good as it gets.
The big plays.
The beauty of sports is when the hero comes through.
Yeah, the tense moments.
We have an update we must show you. He's done it again.
With live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
That might be what it takes to win.
MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
I'ma do what? That's on me. But I'll keep it on you. No, you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
To win this game, 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. He's allowed a run on 3 hits. As we see our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Where he's been able to throw and avoiding that middle of the plate on almost every one of them except for that one. That slow curveball got in there in the zone around the corners and chases, which is important for Reid Detmers with his 7 strikeouts so far in this game.
Strike 1 from Detmers to Dansby Swanson. 3rd time through the order, 6th inning. These have been the bugaboos for Reid Detmers this year. He's had issues in these moments trying to get through it tonight with a lead, and he's ahead of Dansby Swanson. No balls, 2 strikes.
You get that first backdoor slider called a strike, and Dansby Swanson was not real happy about it. Then you get a swing out of the zone, the very next slider.
Swanson, Happ, and Suzuki 2, 3, and 4 in the Cubs order. It's off the plate in from Detmers, who has thrown 87 pitches now. Should have plenty in the tank to get through this inning if it goes smoothly. Swanson lined out to Taylor Ward his last time, walked in the first. Check swing, didn't go. Jerry Lane, the crew chief at first, keeps Swanson at the plate. That looked close.
You got him to go after that curveball there. See if he went. Going to go on either way.
Now Detmers will have to rally after Swanson held his swing. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, blows him away with the 96-mile-an-hour fastball, his 8th strikeout.
What a separation in the speeds of 2 pitches from 76 to 96. Fastball, challenged him, gets it by him.
That's all that was. That was country hardball. Strike 1 to Ian Happ on the corner. Happ went down looking his last time. Detmers has now fanned 8.
Same exact pitch, slider just a little bit off the corner though.
Pick up the tempo a little bit too. Took a moment to look in. Now he's ready for a 1-1 pitch to Ian Happ. Line to right center, and that's a base hit. Happ with a big turnaround first as Adell gets it in. Happ is on with a 1-out single here in the 6th inning. That brings up Suzuki.
Went with that slider, didn't try to pull it. If he does, it's a ground ball to the left side of the infield.
Suzuki doubled his last time. He has one of just the 4 hits the Cubs have put together on Detmers tonight. Good job by Wallach to find a way to catch that one as it slipped out of the hand of Detmers.
Another one of his first pitch curveballs. I have no idea how he was able to catch that.
Detmers out of Nokomis, Illinois, Central Illinois. Suzuki fouls that one right on the Cub-Cardinal border down there. Take I-55 from Chicago to St. Louis. Starts to turn from blue to red. Reid Detmers was certainly favoring the color red as he grew up with a father who pitched in the Cardinals minor league system. Facing the Cubs for the first time tonight, he's done a good job. Trying to finish it now here in the 6th inning. Stavinsky, who has been nothing short of outstanding, warming up in the Angels bullpen. He's been especially good coming into games with men on base. Suzuki hammers it, but foul.
Got 5 double plays turned behind him this season. Reid Detmers, that one tonight.
Suzuki's hit into a handful. Yan Gomes on deck. High fastball, and it's 2-2. Detmers nearing 100 pitches. See if Phil Nevin pushes him to another batter. It'll depend on the result here with Seiya Suzuki at the plate. Breaking ball loop towards center. That's a base hit. Advancing to second, Ian Happ just off the end of the bat. Suzuki finds green grass. Back-to-back singles to bring up Yan Gomes. Here comes Matt Wise.
Not hit hard. He stayed on that one pretty good, even though it was at 76 miles an hour.
Wise will give Davinsky some time to get ready, and we'll hear from Kia.
the turbocharged, tech-inspired Kia Forte.
Detmers has been solid tonight, 8 strikeouts. Back-to-back singles, putting a little pressure on here in the top of the 6th inning in this one-run game. Jan Gomes has struck out a couple of times. He's due up. I think at this point now, with 100 pitches approaching, this is very likely the last batter for Detmers. Gomes a good double play candidate if you get a ground ball out of him. Detmers would just like an out of any kind, trying to protect this one-run lead. Gomes a line drive to right center. Trout had a good jump into the gap, makes the running catch. Tagging from second, going to third is Happ. Mike Trout was on that from the crack of the bat.
Yeah, that was a great route he took. Made some really good plays in this series. Great to see that from Trout. Running that one down. It looks like Phil Nevin's going to go to the bullpen here now, but a nice play by Trout, who's shading Gomes a little bit to left center, runs that one down and gets it in quickly. Great play by Trout. Some outstanding plays last night in the game.
Reid Detmers will leave with the lead. It's a 2-1 advantage. The tying runs at third, and Chris Davinsky on his way in.
MLB Tonight has all the bases covered, with live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
Every night on MLB Network.
You want highlights? Quick Pitch has you covered, packing all today's biggest plays into one lightning-fast hour.
What a play!
We live today, preview tomorrow on Quick Pitch. Late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network. MLB Tonight, the ultimate late-night baseball party.
Oh, man.
With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
How hot was that?
That's money.
What?
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, do you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
This one takes the cake. That is awesome.
MLB Tonight, late nights on MLB Network.
Sports brought to you with the help of the SoCal Honda dealers. Follow @Helpful Honda. They can help you too by Spectrum One Internet Advanced Wi-Fi and mobile for just $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com. And by Hyundai, it's your journey on every mile in a brand new Hyundai. Reid Detmers struck out 8 over 5 2/3 innings. So far, 1 run allowed. Now Chris Davinsky, who has been lights out, especially with inherited runners, enters the game here with runners on the corners and 2 down.
Wait, there was that first pitch comm issue there on that one.
Miguel Amaya at the plate. Looks at a strike from Davinsky. In his last 7 games, Davinsky has inherited 12 base runners. He has stranded all of them. Maya with a bouncer to third. Backhand Urshela. Long throw across. It is in time. Chris Davinsky strands 2 more. Reid Detmers remains in line for the victory, and the Angels hold a 2-1 lead.
The next generation of baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network.
Baseball's biggest moments are live on MLB Big Inning. MLB.TV's nightly show takes you from game to game for all the grand slams, no-hitters, walk-offs, and more as they happen.
Wow, he can do it all!
Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel.
This is some kind of awesome.
After your game ends, the action's just heating up on MLB Big Inning. Every night on MLB.TV.
Game break. As the Angels have a 2-1 lead. Now Reid Detmers in line for the win. Able to get through 5 2/3 innings. Struck out 8. Allowed just 1 run. Detmers was sharp tonight.
Yeah, I like the way he threw the baseball. I love the fact he used his curveball really well. Slider was not as hard to throw. Better break to it. Fastball was firm.
Drew Smyly's 83rd pitch of the night, missing to Luis Rengifo. Smyly's retired 6 in a row. I'm sure David Ross would prefer that the ball is in Smyly's hand as long as possible. Rengifo with a fly ball. Easy for Ian Happ, a Gold Glove winner last year, and that's 7 in a row now. Set down by Smyly. The Cubs bullpen has been inadequate. So David Ross thrilled to leave the starter out there.
We got a high fastball. We got Luis Rengifo out in front. His curveball, his knuckle curve has been really good tonight again.
1 out. Cubs have Julian Merriweather up in their bullpen. If they do fall out of it, it's tough to do that in the National League Central. But if they do fall out of it, well, Smyly could be one of a few Cubs, maybe even a handful of Cubs that could be set about. For the 3rd year in a row, the Cubs would be in seller's mode, and in the 3rd biggest market in the country, that's probably not a great achievement.
Chad Wallach on base twice already. Base hit and reached on an error by Wisdom at third base. Trying to look for those add-on runs here.
Wallach reached on an error his last time, has a base hit as well. Ground ball to Dansby Swanson. Now he kicks it. But he has time to recover and throw out Wallach.
And he kind of looked up to see where Chad Wallach was running down the line, and didn't look that baseball into his glove, but still had time to recover.
And where do you think he was? It's not like Wallach's burning down the line here. 0-1 to Zach Neto.
He's had a tough time with Smyly's curveball today, so for one right now, just to attack that and try to pull it, in the inner half.
2 balls, no strikes. Neto walked his last time. Hit hard into left field. Base hit. Zach Neto, a 2-out single. First hit for the Angels since Urshela singled back in the 3rd.
See the thing here now. Smyly's allowed 5 stolen bases. No one's been caught stealing yet. Him on the mound. Neto with 3 stolen bases. It's a left-handed pitcher, though. You're just going on first move. He does have 29 career pickoffs, though.
Taylor Ward with his 8-game hitting streak intact after a double in the first inning. Game's out of the way as Smyly misses in. Ward's swing has returned. He's looked pretty good over the last week and a half. Ohtani on deck, then Trout. Merriweather up in the Cubs bullpen. I think that if Ohtani bats, Smyly would face him, and then that'd probably be it. The Angels will be into that Cubs bullpen that has certainly been a weak spot.
I think if you get the 2 strikes, you'll probably see Neto on the move.
The inside corner, so now 3 balls and 1 strike. Smyly's had reverse splits this year. He's actually been better against right-handers. And entering tonight, it only hit 199 against him. Lefties have done a lot of damage. See if Taylor Ward can find what he likes here on 3 balls and 1 strike. Rolled it over, foul on the curveball. Smyly sticking to that curve in a hitter's count with the pitcher's pitch.
You know, it's your number 1 pitch. You're going to stick with that. The numbers say that's his best pitch he has. And still about nearly 50% of the time on a 3-2 count, your right-handed batter will throw it again.
Neto will take off on a 3-2 pitch. He did throw it again. Was fouled again. Smyly at 97 pitches. His longest outing this year was back on April 21st when he took a perfect game into the 8th inning, and then Yan Gomes jumped on his back.
Literally.
Strange way for a perfect game bid to end at Wrigley Field earlier this year. Cubs have never thrown a perfect game. Ball 4 to Taylor Ward. Smyly's upset with himself because now he has to face Shohei. National Best Friends Day, and Shohei loving everybody, even Stephen Kwan.
Everybody's best friend. Shohei Ohtani.
Maybe not as much Kyle Tucker. Just kind of dismissed him.
Well, he did get a high five on a tag out at first base down in
Shohei will be happy to celebrate if he can make best friends with whatever pitch Drew Smyly's about to throw him. Tommy Hotovy, the Cubs pitching coach, on the mound. This will likely be the last batter for Smyly, one way or the other. Angels have not had a hit tonight with runners in scoring position. Trying to sweep this series. They've never swept a series against the Cubs. Granted, haven't played them that much.
So he's done a lot of damage on the first pitch he sees this season. Coming in at 429 with 4 home runs. That's 15 for 35 coming into this game.
Angels trying to add to the lead. Could use some insurance as we get to the later innings. Neto takes off. Throw goes down to second base. Skips off the glove of Swanson. Neto's going to score. That's one way to find insurance. Zach Neto swiping third. The throw went behind to the trailing runner, and an errant throw brings Neto home.
Double steal, giving him now 31 stolen bases on the season. A gift run. Huge jump As soon as he saw the back of the head of Smyly, goes. And that's the right decision there by Gomes to throw to the trail runner, because you got to wait to make sure he goes. Taylor Ward picking up his second stolen base, fourth for Neto.
The Angels have a 2-run lead. Low throw by Gomes off the glove of Swanson.
And Horner was backing him up, but the baseball went off the glove of Swanson and went away from him. Doesn't hit the glove, he's probably not able to get up and score on that one.
Ohtani's been lunging at that curveball all night.
He's hit curveballs a long way over the last 2 seasons.
And Zach Neto basically creating a run here. 2-out base hit. Ward walked. A stolen base plus the error. Ohtani out in front as he cracks that one foul.
It's a big add-on run. Had that feeling that Neto was going to be on the move. He picked the right time to go. Didn't expect it, obviously, to throw to get away at second base, but still you would have put 2 runners in scoring position for Shohei, who's been very good in these situations.
Even with Shohei at the plate, Neto aggressive, forcing the issue, forcing the Cubs to make a play. They couldn't. 2 errors from the Cubs defense tonight. This one helps them get a run. Shohei with a bouncing ball to second. Horner has it quickly to first. It's in time. And that ends the inning. The Angels tack on 1. Zach Neto makes it happen. It's 3-1.
Think baseball.
There's something that's been missing in the debate.
Think analysis.
Now he goes into his contract year. What do you do with this guy?
Think advanced metrics.
The new rules are having an impact, and I'll bottom line it.
Think MLB Now, the show for the thinking fan, only on MLB Network. Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
It's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off flare!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
Winning streak. The Angels bullpen has been outstanding. Now 11 1/3 innings, including Dubinsky getting it out tonight. Opponents have barely hit at all. And the Angels bullpen has not allowed a run over the last 3 games. There's the changeup to get a swing and a miss from Trey Mancini. Jared Walsh has entered the game to play first base. Brandon Drury moves to second as the Angels tighten up defensively, getting later in this game. Mancini's RBI double in the second, the only run so far for the Cubs tonight. As the Angels try to sweep this series, they need 9 more outs. There's that changeup again, just devastating.
Yeah, he's throwing him a slider here to show them that one, so a little bit different breaking than a changeup is straight down. It's almost like it works as if it's a splitter.
Ground ball to third, backhand Urshela, long throw across. Walsh with the stretch and plenty of time. And Mancini's the first out here in the 7th. Well, last night we saw the young flamethrowers, Ben Joyce and Sam Bachman, able to get through it last night. Bachman was electric, retiring all 6 batters he faced, had a few strikeouts. And Ben Joyce got into some trouble, but pitched out of it for his first big league win.
Yeah, he was bringing his fastball just a little bit overthrown a couple times, but I'll tell you, Sam Bachman's slider was outstanding. Wow, was that a good pitch.
This Bachman today, who's from Indianapolis, the team he grew up rooting for, and he said the Reds. His dad was a Reds fan, I'm sure, from the days of the Big Red Machine.
They finally cooled off a little bit today.
The Reds?
Yeah. Well, when you're facing Clayton Kershaw, you have a chance of cooling off.
Can't stop the new Red Machine unless you're Clayton Kershaw, I guess.
Perfect day for Reid Detmers on the mound. We talked about that and showed that in spring training when Kershaw, especially out of the stretch, brings that glove up high. Same thing that Reid Detmers does from the full windup.
Wisdom fouls it off his foot. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Number 9 batter Tauchman on deck. We're curious to see who the Angels decide to go to in the 8th inning tonight. Davinsky's been working late in games, kind of that bridge to Estevez, but with Davinsky helping out in the 6th and now in the 7th tonight, figures somebody else will have to pitch the 8th inning. Not even sure.
Soriano might be the call.
Maybe. Swing and a miss. Wisdom looking for the changeup, swings through the fastball. He's struck out for the 3rd time tonight.
Using all his pitches again. Chris Davinsky throwing his slider, throwing his changeup, and then big reason why that changeup has been so good. Now he's got that velocity back on his fastball. He's been 94, 95.
2 up, 2 down here in the 7th inning, and the batter Tauchman. There's a strike on the changeup, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Tauchman holding center field down for the Cubs. Played for the Yankees in the past. Cubs center fielder of the future is Pete Crow Armstrong. He's one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Crow Armstrong was drafted by the Mets and traded to the Cubs when the Cubs moved Javier Baez in the middle of the 2021 season. Tauchman walked his last time, and he's got a count here of 3 balls and a strike.
He's been pretty patient.
High fly ball. Right field with room. Jo Adell gallops back, makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 7th for Chris Davinsky as the Angels hold a 3-1 lead. Right now it's time for our Arco game break. We take you to Cleveland, where Jose Ramirez hit his 200th career home run tonight, and a couple of others as well. A 3-homer game for Jose Ramirez as the Guardians were all over the Boston Red Sox at Progressive Field tonight. The hat trick for Jose Ramirez.
I'll tell you what, he's one of the best players in the game. And a lot of people don't talk about him enough. He plays outstanding defense at third, runs the bases very well, but that power, now 200 career home runs.
Well, somebody with that Cleveland team could use some home runs. Jose Ramirez hit 3 tonight, and so far what we've seen tonight from the Angels pitching staff has been pretty powerful.
I love Reid Detmers today. Speaking, he threw that curveball today very effectively. He took a little bit off his slider, so he had a little more depth of it. Fastball at times. Remember that 1 strikeout at 96 miles an hour. I thought overall really good. And Chris Davinsky has been outstanding out of the bullpen. He is automatic so far, especially with runners on base inherited.
And we've really seen a change in the Angels bullpen from a personnel standpoint, and it's resulted into a little bit more reliability down there.
You're getting more swing and miss. The strikeouts, when you put the ball in play, there's a chance maybe a flare could fall in here and there, but the strikeouts are there for the bullpen.
Well, you said probably Jose Soriano for the 8th inning. There he is warming up as he might be pitching soon. Right now we'll have our break from Arco.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use
home game and stay to enjoy a post-game Saturday night fireworks show. Driven by your helpful SoCal Honda dealers. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details.
So you're saying on Saturday night there's fireworks. Is that what you're saying, Lee?
This Saturday against the Mariners. Fireworks here at the Big A. We should have great crowds here this weekend. Julian Merriweather's been on a roll for the Cubs, and he's the new pitcher replacing Drew Smyly. Trout takes ball one.
He's got that power fastball upstairs, Merriweather, but also he's got a good slider too. There's a lot of them.
98 on the radar gun there with a fastball on the outer edge to Trout. Merriweather has not allowed a run in his last 6 appearances. First time he's ever done that in the big leagues. There's a 137 ERA dating back to the middle of April, so he's been effective.
All fastball so far. Merriweather against Trout.
That fastball missed up, so it's 2-2. Trout leading off here in the bottom of the 7th. Jose Soriano warming up in the Angels bullpen. Looks like he'll get the 8th inning, and it could be a high leverage spot.
Through that slider.
Murray then Urshela due up here in the bottom of the 7th. 3-2 on Trout. And there's ball 4. So the leadoff man is on. Trout draws a walk.
All fastballs, just one slider well above the strike zone. Good job by Trout not chasing that high fastball.
Drury looks at a strike from Merriweather, former Blue Jay. Smyly worked 6 innings, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned. Nothing wrong with Smyly's performance. Just got outpitched by Reid Detmers tonight.
Yeah, knuckle curve was very, very impressive. As was the swing for Jo Adell against him the first bat on a fastball.
It's really the one I'm sure Smyly would like back. Jo Adell just smashing one into outer space. Drury smashed that last pitch off his foot. Julian Merriweather making his 26th appearance in the big leagues this year. That ties his career highs. Had some injuries, never really pitched through a full season when he was with Toronto. He was a starter at one point in the Cleveland system.
He's got a lot of room on that right side of the infield, especially if he just makes some contact with either a fastball away, which he has thrown quite a few already, or the slider away.
Josh Donaldson got traded in August of 2018 from Toronto to Cleveland. It was for Merriweather.
a lot of life on that fastball from Merriweather. Good take by Drury off the plate.
Full count, so after the walk to Trout.
Trout would be on the go here now. No stolen base attempts yet. Mayshore went over and gave a quick little chat to Trout.
Not seen Trout take off much this year. Certainly still has the speed to do so. Has tremendous speed, in fact. I've seen him touch elite speed many times. Not running as Drury takes strike 3.
Painted a 98-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. Just a perfect pitch.
Gio Urshela is 1 for 3, although the 2 outs he's made were both struck well. Lined out to deep center, and another line drive to right field with Seiya Suzuki in the right spot as he's been all series.
And he's shading lower towards the right field line and trying to take away that line drive to right. It'll be real easy to be able to pull Merriweather, but if he pulled down the left field line, that'll result in a run.
Merriweather gets that one over, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Looking ahead to the top of the 8th. Cubs will have the top of their order up. Warner, Swanson, and Happ. It will be the rookie Jose Soriano getting his first big test at this level.
Thing Phil Nevin said about Urshela this year, and continues to say it again. He's always a tough at bat, even against the best of arms out on the mound. Pretty good swing at a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
This is average above 300 for the year. He's at 337 over the last month. He's been tough with 2 strikes, especially.
He uses the whole field so well.
Jo Adell is on deck. Hit Urshela's bat basically and was fouled off.
This runs that one in after a number of pitches away.
Angels have had the lead since their 2 runs in the 2nd. Adell's homer and a sacrifice fly by Taylor Ward. They stole a run in the 6th inning. Urshela with a fly ball to right field. Suzuki right there again. 2 down. Arauco top tier play. Jo Adell with a top tier bomb.
That is a long way up there. He did a great job of getting his hands up on a high fastball. 117.2 miles per hour exit velocity. You talk about getting a good level swing on an elevated pitch. This should be a good challenge here with fastballs. Well, he starts him off with a slider, though. This could be fun here.
Adell with the hardest hit ball by an Angel this year. Hold his swing on that slider, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Adell. First game in the big leagues this year for Jo Adell. Showed his enormous power and strength with that home run in the 1st inning. I can't think of it off the top of my head if an Angels had a multi-home run game this year. Well, Shohei did.
Of course.
Anybody besides him. There's a strike on the outer half, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Adell.
He had him looking slider there. He got a fastball instead.
Laid off that one, and it's a full count. So now Trout will get a head start off first. Three and 2. Adell fouls one off. Still a full count on Jo Adell in his first big league game this year. It's probably going to be a short stay. I would imagine he'll go back to AAA once Hunter Renfroe is back, which could be in the next couple of days. At some point this weekend, Renfroe will return. I'm sure the Angels would like to know that you can count on Adell to come up and handle himself well and get some hits if the need arises.
You carry from the good swings in spring training into outstanding numbers in AAA, and then first at bat hits a home run. The depth, major league level and the minor league level.
High fly to the right field corner, hit well. If it's fair, it's going to be gone, but a foul ball as that one just kept slicing away. Adell makes contact in the air. It might just always go out.
He's that strong and be able to do that. The baseball anywhere near the barrel of the bat, it's got a good chance of going a long way. He is so strong.
And still 3 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of talk last night after the game about the outfield depth as Moniak, Trout, and Rengifo drove in all the runs, plus made some good plays in the outfield. Adell takes ball 4. One almost hit him.
Yeah, the 3-2 changeup.
Second walk of the inning, and now Jared Walsh will be the batter. He'll hit for the first time tonight. Tommy Honaby goes to the mound, but that outfield depth. Last night the starting outfield was Rengifo in left field, Trout in center, and Moniak in right field. Taylor Ward wasn't in there. Hunter Renfroe wasn't in there, and now Jo Adell comes up and absolutely rakes a home run in his first plate appearance.
Impressive to see that. So many clutch hits for the outfield in this series.
2 walks in the inning. Jared Walsh due up. We'll have timeout for Jack in the Box.
My Ribeye Steakhouse burgers are made with 100% ribeye beef. Think of them as the CEO of burgers.
Brandon Hughes, left-hander. We saw Hughes pitching the ball game on Tuesday and didn't get anybody out. They're not using him to face the lefty Walsh here. They're going to stick with Merriweather. He's thrown 27 pitches now in this inning. And 28 is ball 1 to Walsh. 14 balls, 14 strikes from Merriweather.
You see him overthrowing some of his fastballs. He's providing the power. You just got to get those hands through the baseball here if you're Walsh.
On his 2 balls and no strikes. So we've told you the Cubs bullpen has been inadequate. Should have used a harder word maybe, because that is ugly. 6.32 ERA for the Cub relievers dating back to May 14th. They're last in all the things you don't want to be last in. Walsh comes up empty, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Michael Fulmer has now gotten up in the Cubs bullpen. David Ross's beard getting grayer and grayer by the day with the way his bullpen has been pitching. He's the one who wanted to be a manager. He could have just kept it going on Dancing with the Stars.
He just felt he had to be in the baseball uniforms. Always been popular no matter where he has played. He's been a winner everywhere he has played.
He's a winner with the Cubs. 2016 World Championship. Hit a home run in Game 7 of the World Series, his last major league game. Hit it off Andrew Miller.
That's a good way to say, hey, I'm good.
Yeah, win a historic championship and hit a home run in your last game. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that works out pretty good.
That's how you get on Dancing with the Stars. Walsh strikes out. Merriweather finds his way through a scoreless 7th.
Attention cancer victims who use the weed killer Roundup. A federal jury unanimously found that Monsanto's popular weed killer Roundup was a substantial factor in causing cancer. You may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you or someone you love used Roundup and were diagnosed with cancer, call the number on your screen now. Don't wait. There may be time deadlines to file a claim.
Call 800-892-7300. That's 800-892-7300.
ED is difficult for me and for my partner. Through HIMS, I can message a licensed provider about clinically proven ED treatments. Like the generic form of Viagra, which can cost 90% less than the brand name version. Then HIMS ships discreetly to my door for free. I never knew it could be this easy to get my confidence back. Now we can both count on a great experience every time. Start your free visit today at forhims.com.
By Nissan. Explore great deals at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Shop NissanUSA.com. By Arco, the official fuel of Valley Sports West, now accepting credit cards. And by Pitching Decisions, presented by Sage, official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
That reaction by Griffin Canning was priceless. Jo Adell just crushed a baseball. 451.
New pitcher for the Angels, Jose Soriano. This is just his 3rd major league game. He's been asked to handle a 2-run lead in the 8th inning as the Angels try to sweep this series. Nico Horner leads off.
He's got a really good curveball. You see that there, upper part of the strike zone, but his fastball is 97, 98.
A good arm. He's been brought up from Double-A with all the other good arms. Ben Joyce, Sam Bachman, and Jose Soriano have changed the look of the Angels bullpen. Horner laid off. He thought about it, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Angels actually lost Soriano for a while in the Rule 5 draft. He was selected by Pittsburgh. He needed Tommy John surgery, and the Pirates sent him back. Horner, it's a bouncing ball up the middle. Zach Neto gets to it. Quick throw in time. 1 away in the 8th.
You have to respect that velocity on his fastball. He got him to swing and to pitch a little bit below the strike zone to get a ground out.
Brings up Dansby Swanson, who is hitless tonight and only has 1 hit in this series. It was a single. Swanson's average dropping to 264 as he looks at a strike from Soriano.
Soriano, obviously when you're down in the minor leagues, you're really working quick to begin with. Now you have the pitch timer. He's ready to go very quickly.
He's ready for Dansby to get in there. Swanson fouls that off his foot. No balls, 2 strikes. Swanson, the big Cubs free agent signing. 7 years, $177 million. So it was extra special to sign with the Cubs because his late grandfather was a Cubs fan. They'd watch all the games together on WGN. It helps that his wife is a professional soccer player that plays for the Chicago Red Stars.
Works out perfectly. It's all about timing.
That's right. Swing and a miss. Jose Soriano with a darting fastball to strike out Swanson.
Great spot. All you can do, even if you make contact, you're going to hit that ball on the ground. That movement he has on it. And that's a 4-seam fastball that sinks and runs like that.
Now the base is empty and Ian Happ looks at a strike at the top of the zone. Jose Soriano, high leverage spot, top of the order, 2-run lead. 2 quick outs. He's ahead of Ian Happ. No balls, 2 strikes. Soriano trying to get this game to Estevez.
And he's got a real good feel for his curveball, and he's not afraid to throw it, and he's staying in that lower half. He throws that curveball the first pitch to just get in the strike zone. That's the one that's elevated. The other pitches have been downstairs.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Jose Soriano with 98 up in the zone. Strikes out Happ. A 1-2-3 inning.
The next generation of baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network.
I'ma do what? That's on me.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network. Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at-bats.
A walk-off slam!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
Against Happ, starts him off with a curveball upstairs, upper part of the strike zone. Follows it up with a curveball down the lower part of the strike zone, and then 0-2 brings the express at 98. That live arm and high fives in the dugout, very, very impressive. 2 punch outs, top of the order success in a high leverage spot for Soriano.
I mean, that was serious big league pitching right there.
Yes. It's amazing how well and adjusted and comfortable all these pitchers are, brought up from Double-A, bringing the gas in these big spots.
For the Angels bullpen, 13 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings over the last 4 games. Trying to make this a 4-game winning streak, trying to make this a series sweep. Chad Wallach leads off the bottom of the 8th against Adbert Alzolay.
Go back to your point earlier, Wayne. Now there's arms down the bullpen. They're swing and miss arms. That's the impressive thing.
Pollock dumps one foul. Something that, nice catch by a fan, leaned over the rail and made a nice grab. Gave you a thumbs up. Pollock with a base hit. And the Angels trying to get some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th, carrying a 2-run lead. Forget about Angels Live after the game, presented by OC Navigator. I'm sure Tim Salmon is searching for a broom throughout the ballpark right now.
I'm sure he is.
Now, the last time the Angels swept a series was against the Red Sox. Won 3 straight here at Angels Stadium. They followed that up, though, by getting swept. The next series against Miami, the Angels lost all 3. So they need to keep the momentum going. And the Seattle Mariners are in town starting tomorrow night.
It's good having your ace on the staff tomorrow. It's going to be a tough battle, too. And Seattle puts their ace up there, too, and Luis Castillo.
Shohei and Castillo tomorrow. Patrick Sandoval Saturday night. He'll draw Brian Wu in his 2nd major league start, and then Griffin Canning against Bryce Miller, another rookie for the Mariners, on Sunday afternoon. The Halos go to Texas. First trip to Arlington this year. Another with a fly ball, starting back and now coming in is Tauchman. Reminder, it is an Apple TV game tomorrow. Back with you here on Valley Sports West Saturday with the Mariners coming to Angel Stadium. Taylor Ward making that great catch in Seattle when the 2 teams met. It's a little chillier then.
Yes, just slightly. Hey, don't forget to save me one of those T-shirts tomorrow. The shirt,
yes.
the ugly Christmas sweater T-shirt.
I've got one right here, as a matter of fact. We'll take this one. Taylor Ward with a foul pop-up that Mancini makes the catch on. And I'll be with Dontrell Willis and Heidi Watney tomorrow on Apple TV Plus for the opener of the series. Scooby and me together again on Saturday. Then we'll head to Arlington next week. Trip to Kansas City for you next weekend. You'll get to reconnect with some Royals peeps. Bring your blue blazer?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think we should do the opening on Saturday with our Christmas slippers on.
Of course we should. I'm wearing mine right now, actually. It's quite comfortable. Tani, you're looking at a strike from Alzolay.
It was like he hit his fastball in the 96. His slider he throws quite a bit too. Change up, curveball.
There's Estevez. Perhaps another save try unless Shohei puts one in the 10th row out in right center field. 50-50, I'd say.
Yes.
Full count on Ohtani with Wallach at first. He'll take off with a 3-2 pitch coming. Mike Trout on deck. Angels have had the lead since the 2nd inning. Cubs have only scored 1 time on 5 hits tonight. Angels trying to sweep the series. Ohtani swings and misses on a fastball to end the bottom of the 8th. Carlos Estevez on his way in, trying to stay perfect in save tries. He is 15 for 15. And Mount Estevez will take the mound in the top of the 9th.
Imagine an entire channel dedicated to taking you to the most exciting moments in baseball as they happen.
And it's gone!
With live look-ins to clutch at bats.
A walk-off slam!
And players on the edge of making history.
This could be it! 62!
It's the best seat in the house at every ballpark. All commercial-free.
Can you believe it?
MLB Network Strike Zone. Wednesdays and Fridays, all season long.
I'ma do work, that's on me.
Watch games and coverage. All day, every day, your way. On MLB Network. The next generation of baseball has arrived.
And I am here for it.
Keep an eye on the new faces of baseball on Off Base, the modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It's all about things you haven't seen before.
Only on MLB Network.
Pregame now available at a new low price starting at $104.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Carlos Estevez will try to save this one for the Angels, as he has all 15 times he's tried this year. He's looking to become just the third Angels pitcher ever to start a season 16 out of 16 in save chances. Troy Percival did it in 2001. Hall of Famer Lee Arthur Smith did it in 1995.
It's been outstanding. His fastball has been 98 miles an hour. Slider throws that quite a bit to right-handed batters, and his changeup very, very effective.
For a while, Lee Smith was the all-time saves leader. Still way up there on that list. He's third all-time, and that 95 season for the Angels, he was an all-star, and that's exactly where Carlos Estevez should be. The all-star game happens in Seattle next month. Seiya Suzuki leads off the top of the ninth.
That's a pretty good pitch, first pitch.
Yan Gomes and then Amaya due up here in the ninth inning. 3-1 Angels. And a ball and a strike on Suzuki.
All important first batter here in the ninth.
That's in there, and it's 2-2. Strike three called on the inside corner. Suzuki goes down looking.
He didn't like it, but that got the inside corner. We've seen some really good pitches thrown in those lower parts of the strike zone in this game. Perfect spot, 97. You can't place that any better than that.
The Angels have struck out 12 Cubs. And here's Gomes. He struck out twice. Strike one on a slider at the top.
Back to our Hyundai Key. Finish what you started. Great pitching started by Reid Detmers in the bullpen, trying to continue on to be able to sweep the Chicago Cubs here tonight.
No balls, 2 strikes on Gomes. It's 2-2. Estevez falling off the mound a bit there.
And his last 2 pitches overthrew. Didn't need to after those first 2.
It's back to even on Gomes with Miguel Amaya to follow. Gomes stays alive. Still 2-2. Gomes had a real hot stretch at the plate, but he's cooled off. Same can be said for a lot of these Cubs bats. Cubs have only scored 7 in this series. Gomes fouls off another.
Somehow able to foul that one off. That was a fastball running in off the plate against him.
Ground ball to short. Zach Neto picks it, throws it, and retires Gomes. 2 up, 2 down.
This play once again by Zach Neto. Good pitch. That was Estevez.
Miguel Amaya has scored the only run of this game for the Cubs. He started every game in this series. Estevez pumps in a strike. Amaya has DH'd twice and has caught the other game. Pops it up. Jared Walsh is over near the Cubs dugout, has a play. Say goodnight to the Cubs. The Angels complete the sweep. Another save for Carlos Estevez. More fabulous work from the bullpen, and one long home run from Jo Adell, sporting a 3-1 win against the Cubs at Angel Stadium.
And Reid Detmers picks up his first W of the season. Congrats to Reid. Another great job by the bullpen. You mentioned that. Estevez 16 for 6. And Jo Adell, that swing got it going after the Cubs went up 1-0, but right away, no lead anymore for the Cubs with that swing there. So some solid defense again, but the pitching was a story here tonight, and that power of Jo Adell.
Just an absolute rocket from Jo Adell in the bottom of the second that gave the Angels their first run.
117.2 miles per hour exit velocity, going 451. Wow, that ball was crushed.
The Angels have won 4 straight, and Jo Adell gets to contribute at the big league level for the first time. He is our Toyota player of the game, and he's standing by with Erica Weston.
Wayne, thanks very much. Joe, wow, what a way to welcome yourself back into the show this season. The hardest hit baseball for the Angels this season, 117.2 off the bat. Did you know that when you hit it?
No, I know I scored it up pretty well. It was kind of just my approach to stay out over, and got a pitch to drive and didn't miss it, so I felt good.
Yeah, you definitely didn't miss that one. You talked earlier about your consistency to being able to hit the ball in the air. To be able to do that in your first at-bat tonight, in your first game at the big league level this season, how gratifying was that moment?
It was good. It's just, again, it's about the approach. And for me, sticking to what I'm good at, putting the ball in the air and just having that be my thing. And so tonight I was able to do that and capitalize and helping them win.
The kids also contributed to the win. Neto scoring a run, manufacturing a run, Soriano coming in from the bullpen. How fun was it to play with the young kids out here making a difference tonight?
No, it's just great to see. I mean, not too long ago, he was dreaming of being out here on a field like this and to come out every night and compete. You can see it in his eyes. He just wants to win, just like all of us. So it's pretty cool to see. It's pretty special.
It is special. Thanks for the time tonight, Joe. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
That was great. How about that moment there for Jo Adell? First game up, first at bat, hits the ball that far. Great job by Jo Adell. He said hello.
3-1, the Angels win. They take 3 from the Cubs. A clean sweep here at Angel Stadium, as the Angels have now won 4 straight games, back to 4 games above the 500 mark. For Mark Urbazan, Erica Weston, our entire crew, I'm Wayne Randazzo. We say good night from Angel Stadium, where the halo will shine brightly tonight after a 3-1 victory against the Cubs. Angels Live postgame is now.